5-2, 5-9-1 in the ECAC, 3-8-1 at home, which is unusual. And they're in 11th place in the ECAC, 2 points ahead of Princeton, who they play next week on the road. That'll be a key game for the standings. Colgate 11-13-3 overall, 8-6-1 in the ECAC, and a respectable 6-7-1 on the road. They're in third place behind Cornell and Quinnipiac, who have a decent lead on them. They did beat Quinnipiac a few weeks ago, but they're coming off a 4-3 loss last night in Schenectady to Union. It was 4-1 Union, and then Colgate had 2 quick goals in the third, and basically they lost 5-3 over there to the Union team. Robertson had a hat trick for Union in that game.
Yeah, and you had mentioned the power play, the penalty kill, and the power play for RPI. So one of the keys to victory for RPI, obviously staying out of the penalty box. You don't want to do that, get into a penalty. But I thought the kill was okay. And on the power play, I was down. One of the rare times I get to see the game as a fan. I was actually down in the goal over by section 1. They put 2 guys on the point, and RPI doesn't really know how to solve the forecheck. Cornell is a great forechecking team, and when you intercepted the pass, that's how you got the breakaway. So RPI has to change up, maybe more of a diamond on the power play to have the one guy back just in case that happened at the point instead of 2 guys on each point. But other than that, I thought the PK was okay. I thought they cycled well when Cornell wasn't getting in the passing zone. I thought the puck cycled well, and they just couldn't put it in the net. They got 1 power play goal, but other than that, they were just snake bit.
Yeah, so Colgate, lost a lot of their scoring from last year. They lost the young brothers, Alex and Colton, Verboon, Vashon. They lost Stark on D. They lost a lot of people, but they still have a lot of leadership. They have a lot of ex-captains of their junior teams or their USHL team, and they don't have a lot of injuries, so they're pretty strong. They block a lot of shots. Pearson Brandon led the ECAC in shot blocks last year, and he's leading it this year. Offense driven by Ryan McGuire. He's got 13 goals, and he's tied with Ross Minton for the lead with 23 points for the team. And DiPiello has 9 goals already this year. On the back line, senior Nick Anderson has got 14 points so far. He's a smaller defenseman, but he's really quick and good quarterback on the power play. Colgate with a new coach, Mike Harder. He's the Colgate all-time leading scorer. I looked this up, 214 points in his collegiate career. So Mike Harder comes in with a good resume. He was an assistant coach with Colgate back in 2013 to 2019, and he takes over for 30-year coach Don Vaughn. So big shoes to fill for Mike Harder, but he seems to be doing a pretty good job so far this year as Colgate near the top of the ECAC ranks.
And right now, Al Sibley just going to make the announcements for the starting lineups, and we're going to pause for the national anthems in just a few minutes. But of course, I touched on it, and in the interview I had with the mayor, I touched on, Bob Conway. I didn't get the chance to give my thoughts on the air last night, but Bob, I was very fortunate to know Bob outside of WRPI. He broadcasted football. He served on the city council with my grandfather. So he's the one who got me my work study job at RPI. The summer before I came to RPI, I was in the Parks and Recreation Department in the city of Troy working, picking up trash and just making the city a cleaner place. I get to RPI, apply for work study, and it's picking up the garbage and working on the grounds.
Of course.
So I went to Bob, and Bob said, "No, you're not doing that." Gave Kevin Beatty a call, and 2 years I spent in the work study office. So Bob, it surely impacted my life and my family's lives as well. He's definitely going to be missed, not only in the Troy community, but by WRPI as well.
Yeah, I agree. I gave my thoughts last night, and I think the reason that there's some of the alumni are back this weekend is because they attended his wake.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of them in the guest book. I walked in with Brad Lazell, Kelly Askew was on there, Xavier Magic was on there. a lot of the people he helped, and I'll touch on it with Neil Little when I interview him today and get his thoughts as well.
Yeah, he touched all our lives. So let me just quickly run through the lines. RPI line shuffle from last night. Hodson with Tinling in the middle with Gagne on the right. Lee moves to the second line with Mazzotti and Heidemann. Mazzotti up the middle. And then Nate Sullivan slates in. His brother is playing tonight for Colgate. So nice touch there by Dave Smith. He slates in for Booty, third line. With Beaton centering with Bichette on the right, Brackett on the left, Chicarella on the right, and Brad McNeil goes back into the middle from the wing position. On the defense, Strawman, Smolinski, Serdi, and Agnew, Wilfredo, and Regula, and Mata is the seventh defenseman. And naturally, Jack Watson just announced as the starting goalie in net. No surprise for the Engineers. On the Colgate side, Manderville with Panetta at center and Schneider on the right, LaBelle with McGuire in the middle and Minton on the right, Chorsky on the right, DePaulo in the middle, Raymond on the left. Sullivan, Newton, and Rexy made up the fourth line. Glassman did a few extra forward. Puck drop here. Association President-elect, the RA Games mission is to connect and improve our local community while investing in the wrestling of tomorrow. Sponsor of RPI Athletics provides annual school scholarships and emerging leader award, teaching award, awards to fellow alumni and the volunteers to the honesty. So once again, please welcome Dr. Don Berkshire. Yeah, no, Don Bergio, dropping the puck class of '89, RA president-elect, had some food with him last night at the recovery room after they came home, and he was a little nervous about dropping the puck. I told him not to worry. It's pretty harmless. And Kenny, the mistakes of America.
And we like to remind you are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy, coverage of the Big Red Freakout, the 49th Big Red Freakout here at 46, sorry.
46.
At the Big Red Freakout. Got my 6 and my 9.
Yeah, been to probably 34 or so.
Yeah, I've been to about that too. Here from the RPI Fieldhouse, RPI takes on the Colgate Raiders. So we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of men's and women's ice hockey, football, and baseball later on in the spring. We'd also like to thank you for listening on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.wrpi.org. You can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as WRPI is broadcasting. We will provide the broadcast on the internet feed, however, that is www.wrpi.org. However, the website is down right now, so if you do want to listen on the web, you have to go to WRPI's YouTube channel, and they are streaming the audio there. We'd also like to remind you that WRPI is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of this game here, of live games actually, such as the one here between RPI and Colgate. If you are interested in hockey, football, baseball, or any sport you're interested, just shoot us an email at wrpi-sports@rpi.edu, and we will do our best to accommodate you no matter what sport you like. So 20 minutes are on the clock. The healthy crowd is going to their seats. The giveaway is a towel. And RPI with the freak-out jerseys with more of a silver numbering instead of white.
Yeah, a little off. So it's a little less bright, so it makes my job a little tougher, but not tough at all. Guylander in net here for Colgate. And off the draw, it's Newton taking it against Beaton. And the puck goes in behind Guylander. Tracing that down is Anderson. Throws it over back to Pearson Brandon, the shot blocker I was talking about before, but RPI recovers it and dumps it in. Now Sullivan with it on the right boards. Beaton with it, circles behind the net, being pestered there by Brandon, and the puck comes all the way down into the RPI end, where going back for it will be Zwolinski. He's being checked there by Sullivan. Gets it up to center ice. Now coming down the left side, it's Jacob Lee. He loses it, banged out back to center by Colgate. And now Regula throws it right side to Mazzotti. He misses it. And now Colgate trying to get it out of their own zone. Can't. But back with his Bergslin. Bergslin with it. Throws it over to his D partner. Gains center. But bounces it right off of Jacob Lee's leg. And now Bergslin will grab it again. Plays it up to Schneider. Schneider dumps it up the middle. Intercepted there nicely by RPI. That was Regula. And now Bergslin takes it behind his own net, being forechecked aggressively by Heidemann. Colgate can't clear. It's on the right boards. And it finally comes out of the zone. Pops up to center. And Regula grabs it. Dumps on the left side to Mazzotti as RPI gets a couple players changed. Now Gagnon with a hard shot. Left pad saved by Guylander. No rebound picked up by RPI, and now it comes back the other way. It's delayed offside on Colgate. Picking it up is Jack Agnew. Plays it up to center, and then dumped in is Hodson all the way around. And in tight was Gagnon. He gets checked. It comes back with the puck. Now plays it to Hodson on the left circle. Center for Tinling. Back to Gagnon. Puck is bouncing. Nobody can get a shot off. And now Colgate will grab it and try to recoup with Ryan McGuire grabbing that puck. And now it's up to the RPI blue line where Surdy intercepts and dumps it back in behind Guylander. In for checking hard is Tinling. He misses. And now coming out, Ben Raymond dumps it back to his D-man. Colgate changes and plays it back out to center. Falling down there, that was Ben Raymond, but gathered up by the D-man, and now back up ice to the right side. Centering pass, on Watson. Good save there by Watson. That was Chorsky going in right on Watson on the lead pass. In tight. And now RPI comes the other way. McNeil down the left side. It's played up towards by Brandon. Intercepted by Zwolinski at the right point. He dumps it deep. Brackett falls down, can't gather it, and Colgate has the puck. Plays it out to Saris where it's tipped ahead by Raymond into the RPI end to avoid icing, and Zwolinski will grab it as Both teams are changing here. Now RPI plays it up. Sullivan tips it into the zone. Beaton goes in the corner. Beaton in the corner leaves it for Sullivan. Sullivan can't handle it. It goes back to Bergslund. Bergslund plays it around, but it doesn't go. And now Beaton centers it right in front of the net where Bichette is, but he can't get the shot off. Back to the point. Strom's point shot gets deflected up and over the glass into Zamboni land.
Very, very good pressure for RPI. If they keep this up, eventually they're going to break through. But I like what I see down there. Gagnon, Tingling, and Hobson really coming into their own down there. Those two are going to be dynamic for RPI.
Yeah, certainly.
If they stick around. But however, we do got to mention 2 Sullivans on the ice. One for RPI, one for Colgate. Yes, they are brothers.
Yep. Ryan Sullivan for Colgate. Nathan Sullivan for RPI. Ryan, also a winger, just like Nathan. Now Regula with a wrister, rebound, can't be put in by Lee. Now Mazzotti with it. Mazzotti loses it. Now Colgate tries to get it out, can't get it past the point. Shot in, the Guylander puts his glove up, but he doesn't get it, and it bounces off the glass. Gathered by Mazzotti behind the goal line. Mazzotti wraps it around to Lee. Now Lee drops it back for behind the net. Mazzotti gathers it back to the point. Here's a shot by Goffredo, and that's saved by Guylander. Now Colgate trying to play it out. It hits a player. It doesn't make it out. In the center by Lee, and he tries to dump it to Mazzotti instead of shooting, and that gets knocked away and shot all the way down by Colgate. But Regula will grab it. No icing on the play. It must have been tipped, and now Regula gains center on the left side over to Hodson. Hodson into the circle. Shoots it off Guylander. And gathering that puck on the left side there was LaBelle. Now he plays it over to Foglia. I'm sorry, Metz. He plays it over to the left side. Missed there by Colgate. And now Agnew had it behind the net, right in front. Colgate scores. Another miscue. RPI with the puck behind the net. Loses the puck. A quick centering feed. And there's a guy standing right about 3 feet out of the crease and puts it right past Watson. Another miscue by RPI.
Yeah, it seems like when RPI gets down and we see they can't clear the puck out of the zone, and they start panicking, and everybody goes towards the puck and leaves men wide open, and that's exactly what happened. And Colgate leads us 1-0 on just Colgate's second shot on goal.
Yeah, 15-10 left in the first period. Colgate takes the lead 1-0. We'll have that update on the scoring there. RPI again, right in that 3-foot area around Watson, giving the puck away. The referee is now over at the Colgate bench. Not sure what's going on there.
Well, if you're just joining us, Colgate just scored to take a 1-0 lead here at the Fieldhouse. 15-10 remains in the first period. We just got to go, but now the referees are talking to the Colgate coaches, and now they come over and talk to Al Shibley, the PA announcer / scorekeeper.
They're not sure if it's a scoring issue, like they want to know who was out there, got the assist. I'm not sure. If it's a clock issue, don't know. While we're up here, we're watching number 29 very closely, Brett Chorsky for Colgate, who is 6'7", 215, and makes Muzzati look kind of tiny. Out there, so it'll be interesting to see if he throws his body around tonight, stacking up against Jack Brackett, who is much, much smaller.
So they corrected the time and put 13 seconds back on, so 15:23.
So Colgate wins that draw, plays it up to center ice, and now they gain the zone, dumping it back behind. Watson bounces almost back in front. But over there quickly it was RPI to clear that puck away. That was Strom. Now RPI with it on the left boards, chips it out to center ice. In pursuit was Ciccarello. He can't get it. Now coming the other way is Chorsky. Chorsky drops it to the point, and now down low to Chorsky. Chorsky behind the net. Strom decides to hold up his check, probably smartly, and Colgate now has it at the point. That was Anderson. Anderson dumps it around behind the back of the net where Chorsky will grab it, plays it out to the left point. Left point, Colgate towards the net. That goes wide. And now off the right circle. That doesn't get to the net. Colgate applying some pressure here. RPI having trouble getting this puck out of the zone. That's DePaulo. And now it finally pops past Anderson on the right point. And Colgate takes it all the way back into their own zone. Throws it down the ice. I think somebody got a piece of that, so it won't be icing. And now Strom in a battle. Strom loses that battle. And Smolinski grabs the puck and plays it around up the right boards, but Brackett can't handle it. It's handled by Colgate. Now there's a scrum of 5 or 6 players. Now Colgate tries to walk in front. They decide not to. Play it off the boards to Mitten. Mitten back to the right point where Metz is. Over to the left point. He walks down to the circle. Turns around. That's Irwin. Transfer from Denver. He dumps it deep, and now it looks like RPI has the puck, trying to bring it up the left board. They still can't get it out. Colgate with a shot. That's blocked. And now RPI will chip it out to center. RPI a little back on their heels since that goal by Colgate 5 minutes into the contest. Colgate takes that opportunity to change the line, plays it up, plays it right off of Manderville, and that goes deep. RPI grabs the puck there. That's Lee's having trouble finding a lane. Now Zielinski. Zielinski up the left side. Muzzatti has it. Now Lee crosses the blue line. Lee cuts to the center. He tries to shoot. He gets it to the net where Muzzatti puts it in.
Sorry, Muzzatti. He poked it in. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass.
Well, first it was a whiff of a shot.
First it was a whiff, and then
I think it may have been a pass.
Yeah, I don't know, but it sort of looked like that. The shot whiff, the follow-up was a shot on goal maybe, but Muzzatti was there to poke it home.
Yeah, certainly the initial shot that he found on caused the goalie to move, and that got him out of position so that Muzzatti could tip that puck in. So RPI evens it up. 13:05 left in the first period, 1-1 the score. We have 2 quick goals in the first 10 minutes, and RPI showing some resilience,
but this is
back.
what RPI has to do. They have to show resilience, battle back, and show Colgate, hey, you're in a game.
Well, we certainly have the crowd, good-sized crowd here tonight. Huge pep band, too. Now it's in the RPI offensive zone, but Colgate gathers it and gets it out to the middle. Now that's Newton down the right side for Colgate. Takes it back behind the net. Regula pumps it off his stick. And now Regula gets it. Regula over on the left side, and in Lee will dump it and change. Heidemann in pursuit, but he can't get there. Pitching in is Hodson. Hodson on the left boards. Hodson out there with Muzzatti. Trying to tie it up now. RPI has it and tries to dump it down the boards. That's Heidemann at the blue line, but it goes off a skate and out of the zone. But grabbed there by Agnew, and he'll just wrap it around. Funny bounce off, and Gagnon almost got it, but he couldn't quite get it. That funny bounce right in front of the net, about 5 feet out, kind of between the hash marks. Now a bouncer sent in on Watson. He sticks that aside, knocks it aside, and Tinling plays it back to Agnew. Now up the left side and cross ice over to Tinling. Gagnon, and now Gagnon dumps it in, and Tinling in pursuit. Pair of 25s there, Bergslund and Tinling. RPI has the puck, dumps it back in deep behind the net. Hodson will grab it there. Hodson with Rexine on him. Now tries to wrap around, puts it right in the crease is Gagnon, and that's a save by Gylander. Good pressure there by that line.
Yeah, and this is probably the first time this season, I'm going to say this, RPI seems to be out hustling Colgate right now.
Yeah, they've got. I think they moved really just one player off each line, and it seems to be better chemistry. I know the Gagnon, Tinling, Hudson line was together when Lee was hurt, and I think that they were doing okay, and so Dave Smith put them back together. This will be McNeil taking this draw against McGuire. Now on the left boards is Malinsky. He can't handle it. And now Colgate trying to come the other way. This is Mitten. Mitten gets checked pretty quickly there by Smolinski, and RPI gets the puck out to center. McNeil comes over the blue line, leaves it there for Ciccarello. Ciccarello trips it toward the net. Nice play there by Anderson to knock that down with his glove, keep it out of the middle of the ice. Now it's in the corner. There's 3 Colgate and 2 RPI. McNeil tries to come up with it, but Bergslund gets it up to the wing. LaBelle, he can't get it out. And now it comes out to center. And Colgate will just dump that in and get off the ice before any more damage happens there. And now Colgate with it And Bell sends it left side over to Panetta, who shoots it into the upper corner of the net on Watson. Another giveaway in the corner. RPI couldn't come out of the corner, lost the battle for the puck.
Another giveaway and another open man for Colgate as well. So
yep, another man sneaking in on the defense.
Yeah, so the defenders have to stop all going towards the puck and mark up the guy. I mean, you look at, there was 3 RPI players right on the puck, and 2 of them were in the center, and the winger got it. 10:50 left to play in the first. 2-1 Colgate on top of RPI.
Shot 7-4 in the game. This could be a high-scoring affair, it looks like, but we'll see. Now RPI wins the face-off. Lee throws it down behind the net, but there is Brandon. He plays it around the right side. RPI regains the puck and loses it, then regains it. Now Lee in the corner with Brandon. Brandon chips it up the board to Manderville. Manderville gets it out to Jake Schneider, who had a goal last night at Union. He can't handle it. Now RPI comes the other way. Giveaway there to Schneider at center ice by RPI, but now it gets chipped in, and Metz will go back for the puck as RPI changes up. Metz in his own zone. Metz trying to skate it out. He can't get out of the zone yet. Metz, whose father played here at not here, but at Colgate, loses the puck as he crosses the blue line. RPI comes the other way. Regula just offside was Tinling on the left side as he crossed the blue line. Kind of pulled up to look a little bit too much there.
Yeah, Dovar Tinglin just a little bit too fast, trying to get RPI back in the game. So a lot of Colgate alums also in the house. You mentioned Mike Carter, now the coach, and of course Dan Fridgen, the ESPN broadcaster, longtime coach of RPI, also a Colgate alum.
Yes, he is. He was a prolific scorer there. I remember watching him many times here at the Fieldhouse, and went on to have a pro career with the Whalers, and which is, by the way, now my wife's favorite sweatshirt is her Whalers sweatshirt. And now then went on to coach, and now doing broadcasting over on ESPN Plus. So I think RPI is playing okay. It's just the defensive mistakes. It seems like every time they miss something, it's in the net.
It's clear when RPI wants to skate and wants to hustle, they can skate with anybody. They skated with Cornell. It was good. And then defensively, they get back in the defensive zone, and they just forget how to out-hustle and outwork the team.
Yeah.
Tale of two sides.
They lost that puck in the corner, but worse than that, and it was on both goals, there were men in front of the net just totally open. Nobody had their stick, nobody had their body, nobody had anything. They just were totally open. And RPI needs to tighten that up, because that's how you lose games pretty quickly. So we now have a face-off just outside the RPI offensive blue line. Tinling out there with Hodson and Gagno. Out there is the McGuire line. That is Ryan McGuire, leads the team in goals and points. And yes, this sounds very Pierre, but it is Pierre's son. And now they cross center. Now on the left side, looking for Mitten was McGuire. Watson sticks that aside. Now RPI skates it out. Tinling takes a bump, but he gets it over to Gagno. Gagno flies down. Little shoulder save there by Guylander on a really long shot. Now Surdy with it at the left point. Tries to play it over. It's tipped out of the zone there nicely by LaBelle. And now Colgate will change as RPI dumps it in and changes also. The lead line, Mizzotti and Heidemann comes out. And now it's up the right side to Sullivan. Across the middle to Robbie Newton. He gains the zone, dumps it into the corner. Now circling with it, Sullivan. Leaves it there, throws it right in front, but softly, so Watson gets the glove on it before it gets to the Colgate player, who gets a little nudge. That's Robbie Newton after the play is already dead from the RPI defense.
So 9 minutes left to play in the first. 2-1 Colgate on top of RPI. And, we had 3 quick goals within the first 10 minutes here, and then the game has slowed down a little bit. If you're RPI, you just want to bounce back and be resilient.
Yep, so far no penalties of any kind. Puck missed by Mazzati at center, but picked up on the right wing by Heidemann over to Mazzati, and he dumps it deep, but I think they're going to call this offside. Up, there's a little bit of pushing, shoving. Hands come up. Little fracas in the corner. Jacob Lee stirring things up with Ryan Sullivan. His teammate, Nate Sullivan's brother.
I wonder if Nate's going to come over and back up Lee.
No, yeah, I think he would. If he's a good teammate, he would, yeah. So I think we've just have the offside on the play. No penalties here. Referee talking to both those guys, telling them to calm it down a little bit. You know, one thing I noticed with these jerseys is they're not weighty, they're not heavy, so they flop in the wind. I wonder if they slow RPI down a little bit because they're not so tight. Now RPI takes the draw but loses it. And now Anderson will play it all the way down off the boards, right to Colgate. That was a dangerous play there. That was Raymond almost with this rebound off the boards right in front. Now the puck in the corner. Playing it there is Brackett. He loses it to Raymond. Raymond at the left circle, circling. Now drops it to the left point. That's twisted toward the net. Doesn't get out though. Raymond now with it. Raymond wraps it around the back of the net. There's DePaulo. DePaulo, 9 goals on the season. Takes it back out to the right point and drops it for Anderson, but he gets checked. And Smolinski will play it out of the zone. McNeil decides to change rather than chase the puck, and Brandon will take it from Colgate right behind the net. Plays it over to Raymond. Now on the right side to Anderson. Back over to Brandon, and now Colgate getting the full change here as they stand behind their own goalie waiting for the setup. And now Brandon plays it up the right boards to Schneider, who tips it into the zone. In pursuit there is Manderville. Guy played at Cornell. Now RPI clearing it up to the center. Fredo over the blue line, leaves it for Bouchette. He gets checked nicely there by Panetta. And regaining the puck is Irwin behind the net. He plays it over and out. Now down the right side, Colgate. Regula gets over there quickly as LaBelle was cutting to the net to cut that pass off. Now Schneider with it over to LaBelle. LaBelle has it at the left circle. LaBelle circling at the point, drops it there for Irwin. Irwin throws it toward the net. Irwin now down low on the left circle. Looks good shot there by Panetta, but saved by Watson. And now Regula has it. Regula hits Bouchette. Bouchette with a wrister, high and wide as he hit Bouchette. Not quite a home run pass, but almost. And now McGuire takes it up the left side, dumps it in behind Watson, but it goes up and over or into the netting. So you can see where it went because there's 6 little kids running after the puck.
But you know what? That's what RPI has to do. Bouchette had a little bit of a mini breakaway. Not quite. There was still
wasn't clean.
There was still a Colgate defender back there, and Bouchette, instead of being fancy with it, just shot the puck. In this case, it went wide, but that's exactly what you have to do in those situations.
And follow it up.
Yeah, good job by Bouchette.
Yeah, so face-off will be at center ice.
6:35 left to play the first. 2-1 Colgate over RPI.
So Titling wins that one. And now Surdy will come out, play it to his deep partner, and now Surdy will dump it in. On the corner, Gagno. Gagno back to the point, goes Surdy. Surdy has a lane, throws it toward the net. Looking for the tip was Gagno. He gets the rebound and throws it toward the net into the pads of Guylander. Good save there by Guylander. But good action there by RPI. This line seems to have some chemistry.
Yeah, Gagno got the tip, and then he gets his rebound back and shot the puck. In this case, it went right into Guylander, but he shot the puck. That's what you have to do instead of playing with it. Maybe the difference between last semester and this semester, maybe they would have played with that puck more a little bit and not came up with the shot. But that's exactly what to do is take the shot. 10-7 shots in favor of RPI. 2-1 Colgate. 6:13 left to play in the first.
He wins the faceoff. Now Heidemann plays it over to the right side to Smolinski, who takes it down low. Smolinski around the back of the net. Smolinski being hassled there by Brandon. Smolinski gets away from him. Now it's over to Lee. But he gives it back to Brandon. Brandon plays it up nicely to Chorsky, who hits a man at center. Coming down the left side. That's a shot. Stick aside by Watson. Now Chorsky on the right side loses the puck, and RPI plays it out to center, but Brandon grabs it and throws it right back in for Colgate. Now RPI with it behind the net, plays it around to their blue line where Lee will skate it out to center. He'll chip it in. Gylander tries to stop that, but it bounces over his stick. Now Lee with it behind the net, kind of whiffs on the puck. And now comes back the other way.
What?
Chorsky, he dumps it off at Apollo.
God damn it, Michael, you're on
Now
off.
RPI has the puck in their own zone, trying to clear it over the blue line. They do, but nobody there to pick it up. So Irwin grabs it and plays it over to Metz. Now Metz throws it down the ice. Regula going in the corner for it, plays it around the left side. Trying to get it was Brackett, but it gets chipped over the glass and into the crowd.
Yeah, and you mentioned the jerseys. I like how President Marty, as the mayor calls him in the interview, wears the same jersey as the players.
Yeah, he loves that.
He loves it. And
that
speaking of which, the in between the first and second period, we will have an interview with the mayor of Troy, Carmela Mantello. I sat down with her yesterday in her office and conducted an interview, and she was gracious enough to join us, and we will play that for you. Interesting thing she has to say.
5 minutes away as RPI clears the puck out to center. In the feet of Colgate's players, had trouble getting it, but Bergslund gets it out to center ice, and now they come the other way. Dumping it into the corner, Surdy tries to play up the boards, not doing a good job of getting the puck out, and there's number 12 for Colgate. Panetta taking a wrister and a high shoulder save there by Watson. Now Colgate putting some pressure here on RPI. Bergslund wrists it toward the net. That's very wide, and now RPI tries to get it out, but they take too much time, and the big guy on the left wing there, Manderville, just ties his man up and keeps the puck in momentarily, and now Bergslund throws it back up to the Colgate blue line. Mitten dumps it behind Watson. Surdy goes back for it, plays it up the left boards to Bouchette. He loses control. McGuire picks it up. He wrists it at Watson. Good save there by Watson. Another turnover by RPI in their defensive zone. Now Bouchette. Bouchette over the blue line. Yeah, looked a little offside. Yeah, it was a real late whistle. I thought for a minute there they got away with it, and then blew the whistle pretty late.
Well, I think what happened was Bouchette made himself offside because he was coming at the puck and being back checked, and he didn't touch the puck. He got his stick lifted, and then he touched the puck on a follow through. So I think Bouchette made himself offside, but yeah, it was a very, very late whistle.
Always easier to skate without the puck, so you have to realize the guy with the puck's going to go a little slower than you. RPI wins that draw. Strom wraps it all the way around, but nobody there but Colgate, and they'll throw it all the way down. This should be an icing if RPI gets there. I'm not sure they did, but they called it icing anyway. So the faceoff will come all the way down to the right of Gylander, I believe. And RPI will send out Mazzotti to take the straw. Looking a little whispering going on, so maybe we've got a set play coming up for RPI here.
3:52 left to play the first. 2-1 Colgate over RPI here from the Houston Fieldhouse in the 46th Big Red Freakout.
So Mazzotti taking this straw here against McGuire, and it's won by RPI. It goes right to the net, but good tie up there by Colgate to keep RPI from really getting a shot on net. Now down the right side, centered, big slapper, doesn't get through, but Colgate has it now in the corner. Now played up the left boards. Has a little setup on a trailer coming in on a slap shot. Now gets played all the way back behind Gylander, where Henderson will pick up that puck. Henderson, small little defenseman, but 14 points on the season. Played at RNO, not Maine, RNO, Minnesota. Now RPI with it, coming back the other way. Wrister on Gylander, sticked away, and the rebound goes right to DePaulo, who comes down the right side, leaves it to Chorsky, back to DePaulo. A little give and go there. Now Brackett can't handle it in the corner. RPI tries to take it up the left boards and out, and they do. Ciccarello, nice job there. Now Brad McNeil chips it into the corner, going in on Irwin, checks him there. Now it's played around the left side, but I'm not sure. Yep, Regula got there in time to keep that in the zone. And now Brackett with it on the left side. He gets taken down, and now Chorsky grabs it, throws it over to Irwin, who can't gain the zone, and now Hodson coming in the left circle. Hodson doing his little dance, throws it across the tin wing. Oh, and a shot, which goes wide. I don't believe that was a save. I believe he shot it wide on a beautiful feed from Hodson. That chemistry is there. And the crowd takes off on that and starts a Let's Go Red cheer. And now the puck coming to center with Colgate, but Mata grabs it away from the Colgate player. And Mata jumping around to Gylander on the right boards. Gagnon going for it. Gagnon gets there. Gagnon chips it, unfortunately, right to the Colgate player, who just flips it high and out to center and all the way back into the RPI zone. Mercerdi will grab it, take it back behind his net. Forechecked there by Manderville. Big body. And now on the left side, coming down is Hodson. Hodson tries to dipsy doodle through Bergsland. Can't make it happen. And Colgate comes back, gains center. That's Schneider. Plays it over to Pineda. Nice little move by Pineda. Watson closest to 5-hole as Pineda put a nice little move on. Came in on Watson. Little 3-foot shot. Tried to go 5-hole. Watson closed it down. Now Zielinski in his own zone. Flips it high. And out to center. Where RPI will be in pursuit. That's Bruchette going for it. But Colgate chips it up. And McGuire gets it over to LaBelle. And now a shot by... That was Mitten from the right circle. Goes high over the shoulder. Right into the corner of the net on Watson.
Yeah, and, RPI, again, can't clear the zone. And, Mitten just shot it, but, he just got by Watson. But there were two guys screening Watson. Not saying he, would have gotten to it anyway because it was a well-placed shot by Mitten. But
yeah, it was.
There was two guys, two of his own players screening him. 1:07 left to play in the first. 3-1 Colgate. And Larry, is the official... Is that an official play, Dipsy Doodle? Is that an official hockey play?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a toe drag. It wasn't quite a deke. It was kind of like a Dipsy Doodle.
Okay.
If it's super fancy.
But you're right. That Hodson and Tinglin line is clicking.
Yeah, they're clicking, but that defense needs to tighten it up. I think they're reviewing this goal for some reason. Not sure exactly why. Probably an offside would be my guess. The RPI.
Oh, that could be it too. But
because there certainly wasn't goaltender interference on that play.
No.
But again, another in tight shot. When we get up here in the booth for the fans, we get a shot map after each period. Last night, for example, the Cornell shot map had lots of shots between the hash marks by Cornell, very few for RPI. And when we get the shot map for this period, I'm pretty sure you'll see all the goals right there between the hash marks for Colgate. That one wasn't on a total giveaway, but still an odd man rush. There's more men for Colgate than there were for RPI at that in the zone. They got behind the players again, and some of that is the defense, but the centerman. The centerman is the third D, right? He's the guy that's got to cover that trailer, that last guy in, and on that play, for example, that was him. On the LaBelle goal, I think that was same kind of thing. It was a guy coming in on the left side late that put in those shot from the left side. I think they're fundamentally their defensive structure is broken, and
it's a good goal.
It's a good goal. RPI 0 for 2 on the reviews this weekend, I guess.
But now Dave Smith loses his timeout. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if RPI challenged that or the referee.
No, I think it was a challenge by Dave Smith. Yeah.
So RPI now in the hole by 2. This is a key thing that RPI, once they're behind by 1, they very rarely will catch up. So Zielinski has it in his own zone, plays it across now. RPI with Strom up to Lee. Lee crosses the zone. On the left side, dumps it into Heidemann, who dumps it down to Lee. Now Brandon tries to throw it up the left boards. It doesn't go. Anderson with it on the right side, plays it back to Brandon behind the net. So he hit something, stopped, and now Colgate will just chip it out to center, playing probably a little conservative here with 30 seconds left in the period. RPI dumps it behind Gylander on a sky high, and now Brandon plays it up. Raymond can't handle it. RPI with the puck. He gets knocked down, tries to center it. That gets sticked away by Colgate. Still chipped back in the zone. Gagnon trying to go around Brandon, but now it's taken behind the net. Anderson with it. Anderson over to Apollo, who gets whacked by Hodson, who centers it to Tinling, who can't quite get it, and we have a hooking penalty on. Yep, a hooking penalty on Colgate at the whistle.
At the 20-minute mark, so RPI will start the second period on the power play. So I have 14 minutes with the mayor, so we're going to go right into the interview. We'll get you some stats and stuff as we get back on the air. But right now, I have an interview with the mayor of Troy, Carmela Mantello, that I conducted yesterday before the game. And here is that interview in full. Very interesting stuff from the mayor.
Just getting it queued up here.
Okay, hold on 1 second. We seem to be having technical difficulties. Let me see.
And thank you very much for sitting down and joining me.
Thank you so much, Ed. And you and I go back to the Uncle Sam. I look forward to a wreath laying, and I thank you not just for doing this, obviously, but more importantly, recognizing Uncle Sam annually, remembering that Uncle Sam was the father of our city, and so many people sometimes let history slip away, and you certainly don't do that, and we thank you for it.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, too. So, first things first, could you comment on the passing of Bob Conway, of course, former Troy mayor, and he was involved with WRPI and RPI for the long time. Can you explain for maybe someone who didn't know what Bob meant to the city as a whole?
I didn't know Bob as, a friend, but I did know him as an acquaintance. When I first got involved in politics back in the early 90s, I was 14 at the time. That's a joke. But anyway, when I first got involved and I was first elected, Bob actually was a ceremonial mayor during the days of the city manager form of government. Bob was one of the first people to reach out to me and just congratulate me and said, anything you need, any advice, I'm here. And, what I remember, like Bob, he was one of those, kind of like Joe Bruno, separated politics and policy. He recognized that what we do here for the people of Troy, 99% is policy. It's getting the job done, keeping our streets clean, keeping them safe, ensuring that garbage is getting picked up, our water's clean, our water is, the best in the capital region, if not New York State. So Bob got it, and, I send my condolences to Bob's family and friends, and, just his passion for RPI and Hudson Valley, second to none, and he'll certainly be missed, but, his career and just his passion and dedication to Troy will last forever.
Well, interesting segue. You mentioned policy, and I see you a lot up at RPI, cleaning the streets, everything. Over the years, the relationship maybe between RPI and the city deteriorated a little bit. How do you bring that back?
Ed, I'm so glad that you mentioned it because, when the prior president was there, unfortunately, as council president, I was on the legislative side, and I called the office a couple of times to try to get a meeting, and unfortunately, you weren't able to get in. And I get it. The prior president was, just international. Saying that, RPI was a city in a city. It seems like just the town-gown relationship never moved forward. And, we took steps backwards, and just the people's perception of RPI, unfortunately, really took steps backwards, meaning, we're providing public safety, and just that partnership was not built. I must tell you, in just the past 5 weeks, and during the election, I got to know Marty, and he constantly says, don't call me President Schmidt, and he asked me to call him Marty. So President Marty, in my book, It's such a refreshing atmosphere. He wants to do what he did at Kendall Square with MIT. He wants to bring that town down and really build not just the downtown, but help partner in our neighborhoods. And as you know, we have the approach, we have the stairs coming from RPI down to downtown. And, you know, that was a symbol, if you recall, back in the Joe Bruno days to really make that connection. And unfortunately, like I said, it took steps backwards. But Marty has given me just renewed hope for that partnership. We're building a partnership as we speak. I've already attended the Mayor's Cup, and, you know, I hung out with Marty at the Mayor's Cup, and we've had multiple meetings. And just last week, I was at RPI Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was with Marty more than I was with the past president in the last 8 years. So Marty has just brought, you know, hope to build that partnership. And I intend to hopefully continue building that partnership and really taking the value of RPI and integrating it, whether it be internships, whether it be environmental studies, planning studies, tapping into the students at RPI. And Saturday, you should know, I attended the Black Families Technology Awareness Day, and Marty was there, I was there, Paul Tonko, and we all talked about how we can partner more with our minority communities and really get, you know, some of our low-income families, you know, these opportunities, whether it be engineering, math, technology, and, you know, RPI is opening that door. So that partnership is going to continue to grow, and I have renewed hope for a great partnership with RPI.
Excellent. And I sort of have two sort of related questions. How do you bring students, you mentioned RPI as a city within a city, how do you bring students down the approach to enjoy downtown Troy?
Right. Many of our businesses have already begun doing that, whether it be, you know, a hot chocolate day for RPI students, offering, you know, college students discounts, you know, for restaurants, etc. And more importantly, our family events, you know, really trying to get the students to be a part of RPI. And Marty started that from day one last year. They attended various events. Instead of having them on the campus, they had them on the waterfront. So that's a beginning, and that's something that didn't happen over the past 8 to 10 years under the prior president. So, you know, I'm really excited, but also, you know, we have to do our part. So myself, as a leader here in the city, I have to continue educating the folks that we have just this Ivy League school in our backyard. It's an international school, and we need to tap into that partnership. And, you know, Marty's the guy, I think, to bring that, and we're ready to work together to really capitalize what RPI can do for our city and what our city can be to RPI.
Yeah, I know when I was a student there, they still had the Uncle Sam parade, so I took some of my friends and they said, I didn't know this part of Troy existed.
Exactly.
So, you know, there definitely could be more outreach there.
Yeah.
And what do you say to someone wanting to maybe come to an RPI game that sees Troy in a negative light recently? How do you bring them into Troy and say, hey, come to a game?
Sure. Well, you know, the internet and streaming has kind of unfortunately put some
Absolutely.
live sports in a different world. But there's nothing like being, you know, like obviously the Red Freakout. I mean, there's nothing like the atmosphere of that, or the Mayor's Cup, the rivalry between Union and RPI and ECAC hockey. And, you know, so what I tell folks, it's a family atmosphere. You know, it's not just geared to people that like hockey. I may not be a huge hockey enthusiast, but I enjoy RPI games. They're family oriented. They're a lot of fun, and just the action, the rivalry, the bands, the music, and, you know, just in my eyes, it's a community event. You see people, you know, you can walk to the concession stand, you bump into someone from Troy. So growing up, we used to always go to RPI games, and that was our, entertainment for a Friday night or Saturday night, and then hit naughty time. So saying that, we need to get back to those roots. But more importantly, you hit on something. One of the things I promised Ed from day one is to bring the city of Troy to get it safer and cleaner. And we've already hit the ground running in just 4 weeks. I think we've done more than the past 4 years when it comes to cleaning our streets, to addressing Red X buildings and some of these buildings about to collapse and not, wait for a nightmare to happen or a catastrophe. Really take the bull by the horn and be more proactive. Our police were really going to implement a very intense Park Walk and Talk program in the spring. And just recently, Marty and I, the president, actually had a conference call because a student was hit over on Burdett Ave. And obviously, we want to make our streets safer. We want them walkable, and it's important up by RPI that students feel safe when they're crossing Burdett Avenue. It's a very wide street, as you know. So we talked to Marty not just about signage, enforcement, striping, crosswalks. You're going to see in the spring, we're going to crosswalk every street in the city of Troy. We're going to stripe every street. That's huge. I've been begging the prior mayor while I was council president. Now I'm in a position to do it. We're going to get it done. And saying that, Burdett, I talked to Marty about doing some form of an island because that street is so wide, and students, when they try to cross, because it's so wide, accidents are happening. So we're going to nip that in the bud. The traffic unit, police are going to enforce more, motorists who are speeding, and also implement that signage and potentially an island to make Burdett safer for the students walking to class and walking the campus.
And all this stuff is excellent, and it goes hand in hand with your attempt, or you and RPI's attempt, to keep the students here after graduation.
Yes.
I mean, I know when I was at RPI, I helped the students get registered to vote because they're going to live here for 4 years and they should be able to have a say.
And I know you told them to vote for me, right? No,
yes, I did. Yes, I did. How do you keep them here after that to be productive citizens and stay and contribute to the economy?
And thank you so much, Ed, because I did want to hit on that part. I mean, just this past weekend, we, met with seniors, and we met with folks who did decide to make Troy their home. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if our city is safe, if it's clean, if we have a housing stock, that is going to lure homeowners or folks, at that age to invest in home ownership here in the city of Troy. But what I tell everyone, you can try to lure business, a huge company, etc. If your city isn't safer, if it's not clean, what would motivate people if your neighborhoods aren't thriving? And so one of my, pure, and you've heard it a million times, is to get back to basics. One of my huge objectives is to revitalize our neighborhoods, bring pride back to our neighborhoods, get our police on the beat, really have that partnership with our neighborhood associations, and really keep our streets clean, because you can cut ribbons till you're blue in the sun. You have to make our neighborhoods safer and cleaner. We have a waterfront, second to none, 8-mile stretch. We're going to do more along our waterfront to make that more accessible. And we don't have 77 to, divide us. We have it all right here. And the city of Troy really has everything for everyone. So, my answer to that is get back to basics, make it safer and cleaner, but make it, obviously, the housing stock, incentivize our young people to stay in Troy, our RPI students, our Hudson Valley. And, obviously, the more that we can make our neighborhoods revitalize our neighborhoods, quality of life, and education and safe neighborhoods, folks will want to live, recreate, and work in Troy.
Excellent. And Mayor Mantello, thank you very much for joining me. I know you're a busy lady, and I do appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ed, and go Red.
Go Red! And you've been listening to live coverage of RPI men's hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. We'll be back from the Houston Fieldhouse.
And we're back here at the Houston Fieldhouse on the campus of Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, for today's second period of action between RPI and Colgate. The score after one period of play is Colgate 3, RPI 1. You're listening to live coverage of Indian hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Ed DeGarrett along with Larry Pulverman on the call for you from the Fieldhouse. Before Larry, you do stats, let's get through some announcements so I'm not hustling through them at the end. So, before we get started with the second period of play, we'd like to thank the Rensselaer Union, which provides the funding for WRPI and all club-related activity of the Institute, including WRPI's coverage of men's and women's ice hockey, football, and baseball later on in the year. We'd also like to thank you listening on the World Wide Web. Point your browser to www.wrpi.org, and you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so long as we are broadcasting. We're proud to broadcast on our net feed. Once again, it is www.wrpi.org. We'd also like to remind you WRPI is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of games such as this one between RPI and Colgate. If you're interested in hockey, football, or baseball, or any sport, shoot us an email at wrpi-sports@rpi.edu. We will do our best to accommodate you. Larry, some stats, please.
Yeah, so RPI down 3-1 to Colgate. Shots pretty even. 10 saves for Gylander, 9 for Watson in the period, only 1 penalty. Things that stand out from the stats, Gagne with 5 shots on net. Nobody else on RPI with multiple shots on net. 5 shots by Panetta for Colgate. Goals, 2 by Mitten in the period. Interesting stat on Mitten. I looked up, he had 0 penalty minutes last year, which is an amazing thing for any hockey player. But Mitten from Labella Mets at 4:37 got Colgate on the board. Then Mazzotti tied it up at 6:55 in the first period from Jacob Lee and Smolinski. And then Panetta countered that at 9:10 of the period from LaBelle and McGuire. And then that last minute of the period or so, 18:53 into the first period, lost Mitten with the second of the game, LaBelle and Brian McGuire. That line generating all the offense for Colgate. RPI needs to pay a little more attention to that line. Interestingly, in the faceoff dot, RPI up 10-5 in faceoff wins. Mazzotti 6-1, very notable on the faceoffs. Colgate only at around 47%, which is about what RPI is. So RPI needs to get more pucks to the net and stop giving the puck away in the defensive zone.
And let's not forget, RPI has a full 2-minute power play at the beginning of the second period for the hooking call at the very end of the first period. That hooking call was on Pearson Brandon for Colgate.
Yeah, Brandon, a good shot blocker and probably a penalty killer, so having him in the box probably does help RPI as they go with Mazzotti and Brandon, Lee, Heidemann, and Regula. So 4 forwards again on the ice for the Engineers for the power play. Didn't work really well last night. They had a couple of shorthanded breaks where the forward was caught playing the defensive and player, and Watson bailed him out a lot on that kind of activity. So hopefully RPI won't do that. So now Regula with it on the face-off win there by Mazzotti, his 7th of the night. And now it goes into the zone behind Gylander, but it was on the wrong side of the red line when it was advanced by RPI. So it's an icing on the face-off will come all the way down in front of Watson on the left side, I believe.
19:50 left to play in the second as the second period just underway. Colgate leads RPI 3-1. 1 minute 50 seconds remain on the RPI power play.
Yeah, so McGuire and Schneider out there to kill it with Irwin and looks like Foglia. So now RPI wins the faceoff again and goes behind the net where Regula will grab it. Regula trying to come out on McGuire. Bouchette gets it. Now he gains the red line and tips it in, and Heidemann will go in pursuit. Chipped up the boards by Colgate, and they'll come out with it. It's McGuire, and he plays it around behind the net. Well, Watson will just knock it away with hot pursuit there by Panetta. And RPI gathers it at center finally as the Colgate player loses their stick. Heidemann now at the right point, plays it down low to Mazzotti, misses it, goes all the way around to Lee, back over to Mazzotti. Mazzotti all the way around the right boards to Bouchette, who throws it toward the net. Mid-air tip by Lee is missed. Now played down low by Heidemann to Mazzotti. Mazzotti uses that big body to get it. Bouchette tries to go east-west. It gets knocked away from him. Now Regula down the boards where Mazzotti will grab it. Mazzotti back there with Anderson. Anderson knocks it away from him. Tries to chip it out. Can't. Back to Mazzotti behind the net. Mazzotti tries to walk out in front. He does. And he can't get a shot off as it just trickles through the crease. Now Regula with it, and he can't keep it in the zone. It gets played all the way down with 30 seconds left on the penalty kill on the power play for RPI. Penalty kill for Colgate. Now Regula with it in his own zone. Regula drop passes it to Goffredo. Goffredo over on the left side. This is Tinling. Tinling centers it for Goffredo. Doesn't go through, though. Back to the point now. Now over the left circle, Hodson does a slap pass to Goffredo, but it goes off his stick. It's a little hard. Now Goffredo with a shot and a score off a loose puck.
Yeah, Goffredo down there just picked the puck up. I believe the pass was from, looked like Mazzotti or Heidemann down there. He picked it.
And we have a penalty coming on Colgate as there was I believe a cross-check call on Colgate, and with the delayed penalty score, that counts, and then the player still goes to the box in the college ranks these days. So RPI gets a double plus there is number 4. Reed Irwin will go to the box.
It is a power play goal. There was 2 seconds remaining on the original power play, on the original penalty. So Goffredo gets the power play goal.
Is that his first goal? No, I think it's his second.
And then Colgate again goes to the penalty box. So we saw this yesterday with Cornell. RPI has a chance now to get themselves back in this game.
Falling down there was Hodson. It gets knocked all the way down. RPI will regroup here. Smolinski. Wow. Really big forecheck by McGuire on Smolinski. But now RPI gains center. Goffredo over to Hodson. Hodson at the top of the right circle. Hodson tries to play it down low. Colgate plays it around, but Tinling is there. Now Gagno. Gagno with it toward the point. Smolinski down to the right circle. Hodson. Now Smolinski wrists it. It's off the shoulder of Dylander. Goffredo plays it back to Smolinski. Over the left circle to Hodson. Into the middle. Gagno score! Score by Gagno! Top of the circles between the hash marks. And RPI quickly ties this game up 2 minutes and 28 seconds into the second period.
Again, Jake Gagno tying this game. Don't know if it was tipped. Might have been tipped, but it was a well-placed shot.
We'll
by
see in a
Gagno.
second here.
We'll see.
Nope. I don't think so. I
Just
think
a well-placed screen
went straight
by
through.
RPI. And now, not only do you get RPI back in this game, this crowd that was dead is all of a sudden waving their towels back into this game.
Yep, the
And
crowd is
everybody's into
alive.
it.
There's a flag runner around the place being followed by at least 40 little kids.
Well, the gift was the flag at the Belgrade FREAKOUT, so now you have a whole bunch of flag runners.
It's really cool to watch. Next break, Ed will update you on the 2 RPI goals. Now LaBelle with it, coming in the zone. Drop passes it to Panetti, throws it right across the crease. It goes to the right circle. Colgate trying to handle a bouncing puck. That was Anderson. Can't get the shot on net. Now Cerny will get it out. Looking for a stretch pass to Ciccarello, but doesn't quite go. And Anderson gets it, but Ciccarello blocks it. Now he uses his big body to shield off Anderson. And now 2-on-1 coming the other way. Here comes Colgate. Good save there. That was Mitten on the right wing looking for the hat trick. Had LaBelle up the middle, decided to shoot. Watson with the save. Now it's all the way back behind Guylander where Colgate will change and regroup here. That's Irwin now trying to play it out. Irwin, the one who was in the penalty box on that tying goal. Now down the right side comes Raymond. Raymond shoots it. Raymond, born in Dublin, Ireland, believe it or not. And now Sullivan. Sullivan at center ice for RPI. Dumps it in behind Guylander. That's stopped there by RPI. They throw it right in the middle to the other Sullivan, and that doesn't go. Now RPI down the right boards. Bouchette still in the zone. Good pressure here. Nathan Sullivan keeps it in the zone. Colgate having trouble clearing the zone. Finally get it up to the blue line and out, but can't even gain center. RPI with some life here. Mizzotti trying to control the puck, and finally DiPaolo just dumps it in and gets off the ice on a change as that line struggled. Now Lee gains center, comes down the right side, throws it toward Guylander nice and high, goes over Mizzotti, misses the puck, lets it go, and that's a shot toward the net. That gets sticked aside, and now Colgate comes the other way. Here comes McGuire. McGuire risks it wide of the net, almost bounces out front, but hits the back of the net, fortunately for RPI. And Smolinski will play at the center ice, where it'll get chipped right back in by Foglia. They touch up. McGuire going on the forecheck, but now Smolinski plays it up to Heidemann, who dumps it in, and RPI will go off for a change. Guylander stops it behind the net. Foglia grabs it for Colgate. And then over to his defensive partner, but they lose it at center ice. And now Goffredo. Goffredo will dump it in off the glass. Into pursuit is Hodson in the corner with Metz. Now down the left boards is Bouchette. Bouchette looking to get it back to the point, I think. Yes, he does. He gives cross point to Goffredo. Goffredo takes a little bump from LaBelle. He centers it off the stick of Gagno. Picking that puck up, though, is Goffredo, and he shoots it, but it doesn't get through as it's blocked. And now down the left side is Pineda on Surdy. Surdy playing the body on Pineda, bumps him off the puck nicely. Now RPI on the left board scrambling back to the point. There's Irwin with it. Irwin with it again. It's it back. Irwin walks it in, tries to chip it on net. Goes wide. Now Surdy. Surdy will take, I think that's Ryan Sullivan, Nate's brother, to the boards. And now Colgate has it, plays it back behind the net. Can't control it there is Pineda, but now walking in front is a Colgate player, but he can't get a shot off. And it's coming out of the zone finally by RPI as they finally clear the puck back and get a change. It's a tough change here, and now Colgate on the attack. It was 3-on-2 there. I don't think they realized they had it. And now back to the point is Brandon walking in with a backhander toward the net. Watson gets the glove on it quickly, and Agnew pushes away the Colgate player. I'm trying to see who that is.
Well, right now, 13:25 left to play in the second. Shots on goal, 18-15 in favor of RPI. But more importantly, RPI gets 2 power play goals back-to-back to tie this one up at 3. The first one was by Jimmy Goffredo. It says unassisted, but I'm pretty sure that it was from CJ Regula.
Yeah, the website's a little slow updating those up.
And then at 2:38 of the second, it was Jake Gagnon from Tyler Hodson. And I'm pretty sure they said Max Smolinski as well. So 2 really quick power play goals by RPI gets them back in this game tied at 3.
So RPI gets the draw and gets it down the ice where Brackett will knock it in the corner, go in there against Brandon. Brandon taking Brackett to the boards. Brackett still fighting for the puck. Colgate comes away with it. Now coming into the zone on the left side is Raymond. Raymond takes a wrister. That's blocked nicely by Mata. And now it's coming back to the blue line, but kept in there by Raymond. Raymond dumps it around the back. Comes up the right boards. That's McNeil trying to get that puck. A little hit from behind there by the RPI player, believe it or not. And Chorsky at the point dumps it down low.
WRPI Troy.
Center it across. It goes to Watson. He can't quite get his glove on it. RPI skates away from it, and from behind he gets hassled a bit, but gets it past Apollo and all the way down into the Colgate defensive zone where Colgate will regroup.
You are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Coverage of the Big Red Freakout here from the Houston Fieldhouse as there was a whistle for offside as Colgate brought the puck in. 12:24 left to play in the second. 3-3, RPI tied this game on 2 back-to-back power play goals. Ed Degarian and Larry Pulverman on the call here for you from the broadcast booth.
The Goffredo goal does show unassisted on another website that I used, and it may have been because it went off our Colgate player to Goffredo, so that's probably why. Hodson with the only assist on Gagno's power play goal. So now behind the net, Bergsland plays it up for Colgate, plays on the left side. Now LaBelle down the left side on Smolinski, battle of the sevens. LaBelle takes it back behind the net, circles to the corner and hands it right over to Sullivan. RPI now in the zone. Beaton can't control, and now Colgate comes the other way. It could be a 2-on-1. LaBelle comes in on Watson. And a save by Watson. RPI giving up the 2-on-1 there, and now taken down in the corner is Sullivan. Oh, it's Sullivan doing the takedown, pardon me. And now the puck comes loose and out of the zone to center ice, where Beaton will chip it a little forward, but not sure what we've got, a hand pass. So the faceoff will come just outside the RPI defensive zone on that hand pass call. As I'm surprised they didn't call Sullivan there on that check. It looks pretty brutal. So RPI will send out Zotti to take this draw, as he's been very good on draws tonight with Pineda for Colgate. They'll actually face it off at center ice. We're about to drop the puck. Haven't had those drama of puck drops like we did last night with the Cornell game. Fortunately, Colgate wins it, plays it all the way down. It could be icing here. Nope. Gugula grabs it behind the net, plays it over to Goffredo. Goffredo spins away from the forecheck. Pineda, but turns it over. Now Pineda with it. Pineda comes out all the way high. Now dumps it over the left point to Irwin. Back to Pineda. Pineda in the middle. Throws it on net. Watson makes the save. RPI can't clear. That was Lee trying to clear it. Now they whiff on a pass. Colgate, that was Pineda. And now RPI comes the other way. Heidemann down in the circle. Nice tip there on the east-west pass to knock that out of the zone, and RPI will change here as Colgate regroups and changes a couple of players too. Now RPI grabs it, comes back the other way. Mazzotti with it at center ice. Mazzotti taking a look, dumps it high in behind Guylander on the aerial pass there, and now up the right side. That's stopped there, and now poked back nicely by Smolinski out of danger. Gagno can't control the puck, and Colgate tries to come the other way. Now they do. Colgate over the line. That's Glaceman. First shift I've seen him on, and the shot on net on Watson. He's a save, and RPI gets out of the zone all the way to center is Agnew. Agnew over the blue line now drops it for Hodson. Hodson goes east-west. Left circle back to Agnew. Charges to the net, and that pass just missed. And now Hodson along the boards. Hodson loses the puck to Colgate now up the middle to cross pass that gets missed. That was Glaceman trying to get that return pass. It was from Anderson. It just didn't go, and now the puck comes all the way down. Guylander has to play it as it's on net as Brackett kind of blows a tire there, and now it's 3-on-4 coming the other way. Now Colgate comes in. Brackett throws the body, knocks a couple people over, but unfortunately he knocks over Ciccarello at the same time. So Colgate regains the puck, throws it on net, a little pad save there by Watson. Colgate dumps it behind the goal line. Now Smolinski, but they're trying to skate it out. Smolinski goes left side, gets through. Now Brackett with it. Brackett with a wrister. He gets nailed as he takes the shot. Goes down, but Smolinski will pinch in off the right point. Throws it to the net. Nice save there by Guylander with the pad. And now Colgate comes the other way. Coming down is DePaulo on Lee. Lee is not letting them have an inch. And we're going to get a penalty here for a holding on RPI. And the crowd doesn't like that call. I'm not sure I like it either, but I'm going to take a look here.
8:49 left to play.
Didn't really see.
In the second, 3-3 RPI and Colgate. We're going to get a timeout while they clean the ice.
Really didn't see the hand off the stick. That's usually what gets you a holding call. really didn't see that there. I thought it was just body position.
No, yeah, we're not referees. We don't see they see stuff that we maybe can't see. But while we have a break, I'm gonna. You can see the smile on my face.
I know what's coming already.
As I'm gonna say it, and 42 years old, gotta stop. But my favorite RPI goaltender ever, arguably the best RPI goaltender in RPI history, at least since I was born. Neil Little from the class of 1994 will be joining us up here. And Larry, I apologize. I pulled rank on you to do the interview. We didn't know who it was until Dan Fridgen told us before the game. So when I found out it was Neil Little, I said, Larry, you're off. I'm on.
Hey, it's
and yeah, I'm excited.
It would kill me to take that interview from you.
Yeah, I'm excited. So
you're as excited as I've ever seen, and
yeah. So it's gonna be great. I mean, yes, I'm not prepared. I couldn't prepare because we didn't know who it was. But it's Neil Little. You don't have to prepare. The questions just flow. Especially when you go back and you find out it's gonna be Neil Little. I'm back to my 13-year-old boy self.
Oh wow!
And wanting to ask him the question. So yeah. So that's coming up in the second intermission. So Larry, go ahead.
All right, Colgate wins that face-off back to Anderson. Now to the circle, and shot it on Watson, couple saves, and he gets the glove and ties up the puck as there's a little scuffle in front as Colgate goes on this power play. Knocked over there was, believe it or not, 6'7" Chorsky.
Yeah, so Jack Watson again having a stellar game in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. Having a great game out there.
3 goals that were let in, he got hung out to dry really on I think all of them. So
our
at least 2.
Our goalie expert on the broadcasting team told me that all the shots have beaten them stick side. So keep an eye on that as the game goes on here.
And that's something I'll ask Neil about too when he gets up here.
Yeah, so Mitten with it at the left side, dumps it down low to Chorsky. Now back to Mitten, the top of the circle, over to Anderson, center point. Now over to the left circle, right circle. And that shot goes wide. McNeil grab it and throw it off the glass and down. So 1:32 left in the penalty to Jacob Lee. And Colgate will regroup here, do the little drop pass thing that everybody seems to do these days. Except the Penguins probably stopped doing it now. So now in the corner, it's centered out front. Nobody can get a handle on it. Now Chorsky tries to shoot. Kind of gets stick down, fortunately. Now back to Anderson at the point. Now left circle, McGuire. Back to Anderson again. Over to the right side. That's Mitten. Gets stick on it by Surdy. Tips it away from McGuire. Colgate with a 24% power play. Not what RPI wants to see, given their penalty-killing woes. And now it's played out of the zone on a good play there by Ciccarello on Anderson. And now Colgate comes in, almost the penalty there, as Ross Mitten almost got hooked over, and now Brackett grabs the puck, comes down the side, he goes right to the net, backhander, saved by Guylander. I'm not quite sure he knew he saved it, but he did.
I'm not quite sure Brackett knew he shot it either.
Yeah, I think he was just going to the net, see what happens. 21 seconds left on this power play by Colgate. LaBelle with it down the left side, now over to the right side, where Bergsland has it. Now back to the point where Irwin will grab it. Now left circle, LaBelle throws it toward the net where we're looking for a little tip by Manderville, but that didn't happen. And now RPI should clear this, and it's knocked down at center ice by LaBelle, but right to Hodson. Hodson driving to the net. I don't see an arm up, even though Hodson did get a little drag down. I think they figured it was just a battle. Now Colgate comes the other way, and the fans react. That's Manderville throwing it to the net. And a save there by Watson.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ethan Manderville in his 5th year at Colgate from Ottawa. Again, son of Kent from Cornell.
Yeah, that was almost a mistake by LaBelle down there. RPI was just clearing the puck at the same time Hodson was coming out. The puck had hit LaBelle's stick and knocked it down, and that's what sent Hodson in on it. So had LaBelle just let it go, it would have been no harm done, but instead Hodson gets a shot attempt off.
Yep. Colgate wins that draw and goes past Brandon at the point, and now it's back with Mets grabbing it in their defensive zone, being forechecked there by Jacob Lee. They regroup, do all the setup stuff, and now Mets comes out with it up to the blue line for Ryan Sullivan. And Ryan Sullivan takes a wrister right into the breadbasket of Watson. A little shuffling again in front of the net with Glaceman this time. Levi Glaceman, the extra forward tonight, I was telling Ed, has a propensity for game-winning goals. Scored the ECAC championship goal in overtime in 22-23 for Colgate. Had the game-winning goal here at the Fieldhouse 2 freakouts ago. And doesn't have a lot of goals in his career, but they're all pretty timely. So taking this draw is DePolo, and winning it is Beaton. And now RPI will play it out to center. Barely, maybe. Nope, they still don't get over the line. Now they do. Yes, finally outside to center where Berglund will grab it. Berglund plays it cross side to Foglia, his partner, and wraps it around. Now RPI will try to get it out of the zone. They do. They get it to center where it will be grabbed by Berglund from ways out of Minnesota, place I know pretty well. And now
Close to you. Everything's close to you. In Minnesota.
everything was close to me. Well, there's a lot of players from Minnesota that live there. Now, a wrister from the left side, Foglia. That goes wide. Now RPI will skate it out to center. Now the right side comes down. Gaffredo. Gaffredo wristed way wide of the net. Berglund grabs it and just chucks it out to center off the skate of Mitten. And now Colgate will regroup in their own defensive zone behind the net. That's Foglia now being watched by Jacob Lee. Jacob Lee, a ferocious, aggressive forechecker, and now they ice it all the way down Colgate. Oh, they're waving it off. Not sure if somebody touched it, but they're waving it off. So Serdi will play it back behind the net to Agnew. RPI clearing it up the ice. Now RPI will ice it, except it gets beaten. Not John beaten, but Heidemann beats the Colgate player, so it's waved off. Now Lee to Mazzotti. Mazzotti with a backhand.
Great pass by Lee.
Behind the back pass. That doesn't click, so it goes all the way back into the RPI defensive zone where Agnew will grab it up to Heidemann. Heidemann will dump it in the corner and go off for the change. Pursuing there is Lee. Is out of gas, so I'm sure he's going to go for a change in a second here, and LaBelle will play it back up the ice. RPI clears it out back to center. Spinning there is a fresh Brackett off the bench. Brackett takes a wrister. Good save by Guylander. Gets the rebound. Saved there by Ciccarello off the rebound. Now back to the point. Strom dumps it around the back of the net. Now looking at Ciccarello's just sitting there in that right circle looking for a one-timer. Now McNeil with it. Walks it in front. Backhands it. That's stopped there by Anderson, and he throws it into the crowd. So we'll have a face-off inside the zone. I think in the NHL that would be a penalty. But
Yeah, that would be a delay of game penalty in the NHL, but RPI offense really buzzing. I mean, Gaffredo is really, really helping his team, pinching down and helping them with that offensive push.
yeah, there are several players on this team. In fact, most of them are on the ice right now that just seem a little faster and quicker than the other players. Like they've just got a step ahead. So now RPI loses that draw, so it goes all the way around and down into the RPI defensive zone. Regula plays it off a player's leg, so it doesn't go out quite right away. And now Gagnon over to Tinling. Tinling takes down the left side. Tinling going in on Metz. Metz trying to deal with Tinling. Tinling gets away from him, tries to circle around the front of the net, but he loses the puck. And now coming the other way is Vanderville, and there's a check there, and they take that opportunity, Colgate, to change lines. And now Gaffredo with it. Gaffredo up to center ice. Can't get over center ice, and Glaceman plays it the other way, but he turns it over to RPI, who's now with it. Gagnon still in his own zone, though. Regula plays it up the boards, and that's kept in. And the wrister right from the center. Again, RPI unable to get the puck out, and a guy gets loose in the slot. Robbie Newton, the transfer from Wisconsin, puts that puck in from right between the circles.
Yeah, and again, RPI just with a defensive breakdown. There's
Defensive
two
breakdown.
men covering the puck. A man gets open, and that's the man who puts the puck right in the net.
Many chances to clear that zone.
Yeah, 2:54 left to play in the second. Colgate takes a 4-3 lead. RPI 27-24 shots ahead, out shooting our Colgate rather. By
That's a lot of
3.
shots, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. At least they're shooting the puck though.
Yeah, I'm not worried about getting more opportunities, but these defensive lapses are just inexcusable, you know, in a winnable game especially. Surdy with it. Surdy plays it over in a bad spot to Beaton, who loses the puck, and now Colgate will dump it back in the corner to the right of Watson. Now played back behind the net. Agnew falls down. That pass doesn't click for Colgate. Bruchette will grab it, and he'll play it over to Sullivan, who'll dump it into the right corner side of Gylander. Going in there is Foglia. He takes the puck away, and now coming over the red line and the blue line is Bergslund, the defenseman. But he loses it. Now it comes up the right side. Is Beaton. He'll dump it and go for a change. But we have a whistle here. Goal. Okay. It must be a hand pass because the faceoff's at center ice. So Beaton dumped that puck in, hopefully trying to generate something. And now the faceoff at center. It will be DiPaolo on the draw against Ruzati. Ruzati doing well on faceoffs tonight. There he goes. He wins another one. So now Strom has it, dumps it around the boards. And on the right side is Mazzotti. Mazzotti shields it, but loses the puck. Now it's a turnover to Lee. Wrists it toward the net, but that's very wide. And now Strom comes down the left board, throws it on net. That's sticked aside by Gylander. Heidemann has it. He gets checked behind the net by the giant Chorsky. And now the puck is loose. And skating out is DiPaolo with the puck over center. Throws it over to Chorsky. Now back over to Raymond. Now back to the middle. Standing right in front of the net was DiPaolo. The defensive coverage again in front of the net. Not there. And now RPI will dump it in and go for a change as Brandon will grab the puck for Colgate behind the net. Chicarello line comes out for RPI. Now played all the way up to Raymond, who's still on the ice. That goes to Gaffredo now. Throws it right across the middle. And Gaffredo plays it up, and I don't know if that got tipped, but apparently not because they called it icing. So that will come all the way back into the RPI defensive zone with 1:05 left in the second period. RPI trailing Colgate by 1, 4-3. I think we're looking at a crazy third period probably.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely crazy third period. It's going to be. It's at least the game has been entertaining.
Yeah, the crowd's kind of gotten quiet again.
The crowd's gotten quiet again, but they're staying. That's a good thing.
They're staying.
They're not leaving.
Yeah, last night they did walk out. That's absolutely true. Brackett now down the left side gets past Irwin and draws a penalty as Irwin will touch the puck and go for interference, probably. I didn't even see the referee call, but that's my call. Yeah, okay. So it is interference. And RPI will go on the power play with 55 seconds left in the game, and more importantly, during the Mr. Beast Burger minute. So the crowd likes that. This will cost Mr. Beast Burger a lot of money because it's a 4,000 plus crowd,
and
right?
we had just said
he picked the wrong night.
We had just said the crowd is quiet.
That's
Nothing
right.
like a free hamburger to get the crowd back into
Nothing
the game
like a free hamburger.
So Reader, when going into the penalty box, RPI with 55 seconds left to get the crowd a free hamburger. And then
There'll be about 4,300 probably free hamburgers if this happens. So Mr. Beast is. Well, there we go! They won the face-off back to Zawinski. He walked up blue line for 2 steps, took a shot high into the net, past Skylander, and the crowd is going nuts.
Yep, all the towels, the high fives are going out.
The towels are being waved. The
yeah,
pom-poms are out.
The kids are
The crowd
following
is
the,
going nuts.
the kids are following the flag guy. There they go.
Now the question is, we don't have tickets to get a Mr. Beast Burger. I don't know the answer to that. I've never had a Mr. Beast Burger. I don't even know.
Well, we can go and find out.
I don't even know where it is, but it's okay. RPI ties the game up. With
I
50
bet you
seconds.
all the students down here know where it is.
I bet you they do. 50 seconds left in the period. RPI ties it up 4-4. So we've got a wild one going here. RPI on the power play. Zmlinski, I'm sure there's at least one assist to Mizzati on that one. So we'll see what else they scored. And now another takedown by Colgate. That looked like it could have been a penalty, but RPI returns the favor there. And now skating out is Heidemann. He tries to high five it to Mizzati. Mizzati gets it, turns. Pad save by Guylander. Nice shot there by Mizzati. Way to handle that puck on the fly. Now, Colgate with it behind the net with 20 seconds left. Got to be thinking, let's just get to the locker room, folks.
Smolinski gets the goal.
I think that's his first of the season. No, it's his first or second. Yeah, it's his first. And now the puck is iced by Colgate with 5 seconds left. First of the season. Smolinski, who was offensive defenseman, and first of the season. And actually, the only assist was to Tinling, who took the draw, not Mizzati, who took the draw. So Mizzati was out there, but he didn't take the
Let's not
face-off.
forget, that's 3 power play goals for RPI.
Yeah.
3 power play
Right?
goals.
That's a big plus,
Yeah.
right? Especially the power play needs to get hot going into the playoff season. Face off to the left of Guylander, won by RPI. I'm sorry, of Watson now, won by RPI, and Smolinski takes it behind the net as the buzzer sounds.
I'm keeping my eye out for Neil.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know him if I saw him. People age, people change.
Yep.
So,
That's okay.
You never know. But so in the period, so far, actually after 2 periods, 30 shots for RPI, 24 for Colgate. Face-offs RPI with a small advantage of 18 to 15. But the big advantage, RPI with, as Ed said, 3 power play goals for RPI, 3 for 3 on the power play, giving them a surge and allowing them to get back in the game, essentially tying it up 4-4 at the last minute of the period. So I think we've just got a 1-period game going here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting coming down the stretch here of what we have. And well, here comes Neil, I think. I think that's Neil coming right now.
He thinks that's Neil.
Yeah.
All right, well, while we're waiting
Yeah,
for,
because he was,
while we're waiting for Neil to come up here, I'm going to just run real quickly.
Hey, Matt, yeah. Yeah, I remember Matt well.
Yeah.
We just visited by Matt here, so.
Matt.
Matt Murley, 02.
That's Matt Murley?
That's Matt Murley.
Matt Murley!
Interesting story while we're waiting for Neil. So, Matt Murley and I, Matt was 02 for RPI. I was 03, so we're a year apart. So, Matt and I both went to Lansing Road High School in Troy. So, Matt was a sophomore, I was a freshman. I wasn't the very most popular kid in school, so we're playing gym and we're playing floor hockey. And they put me in goal naturally. But, so, what happens is Matt Murley gets a penalty shot, and back then we're playing with the plastic pucks. And so Matt Murley gets a penalty shot, and here I am in goal with no equipment on against Matt Murley with a plastic puck. I did save it.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I did save it.
So I have a Matt Murley puck.
But I probably still have the bruise on my leg.
You probably don't want it to ever go away.
Puck, so.
Matt Murley, of course, played a lot of professional hockey in the Penguins organization, and excellent player for RPI. Let me update some scores here while we're waiting for Neil to come up and talk to us. So crosstown, Union losing right now after 2 periods of play, 4-1. Cornell up on Union College. Princeton, who, as I mentioned in the pregame, is behind RPI in the standings, 3-3 with St. Lawrence. St. Lawrence literally beat Quinnipiac 3-1 last night, so that's an interesting score. Quinnipiac getting their revenge for the loss on Clarkson, leading 4-2 after 2 periods of play. And, of course, here we are tied 4-4 after 2 periods of play in an exciting game with a lot of goals, a lot of shots. We'll see what happens, but RPI certainly showing some better offense tonight. Defense still, like we talked about, needs to get cleaned up a little bit.
Yeah, maybe we have to vamp a little bit because I don't see Neil coming.
Well, I'm going to go talk to Dan and
Yeah, I'll vamp Larry, and we'll take a little break. We'll take a little break, and we'll be back. Hopefully for the Neil Little interview. So we'll be back here. The score after 2 periods of play is RPI 4, Colgate 4. You're listening to live coverage of Engineer Hockey on 91.5 FM W.
Stop signs, yield signs, school signs. Signs all across our country help control our safe travel. In symbols, words, and pictures, they call out to us to slow down or stop or watch out for children. Too bad they can't actually call out.
Attention motorists, 2 lanes are reducing to 1. Slow down and prepare to merge.
Did you hear something?
It's the guy with the flag up ahead.
What guy?
The guy in the orange and black sign, straight ahead.
You gotta be.
I didn't tell you to pull over and stop. I told you to slow down and prepare to merge.
The sign is talking. I'm losing it.
You could lose even more if you don't get the picture.
Get what picture?
Just listen to him.
Orange and black work zone signs like me alert you to construction ahead. Slowing, merging, or stop traffic in these zones can present danger for motorists not paying attention. Get the picture?
Listen to the signs, right?
Right. Now it's time for you to get the picture. Drive safe. Drive alert. Listen to the sign.
Sponsored by the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee and the New York State Broadcasters Association.
We're back once again here on the campus of RPI at the Houston Fieldhouse. The score here after 2 periods of play is RPI 4, Colgate 4. You're listening to live coverage of the 46 Big Red Freakout here on 91.5 FM WRPI. Troy Edgarian and Larry Pulvert here on the call for you. Larry is currently over talking with Dan Fridgen to find out where Neil Little is. I'm waiting for it to conduct an interview, but that's okay. If he doesn't show up, I'll do some vamping here for the intermission. So I'm going to run down the scoring for you in that second period. RPI was getting on the board at 1:58 by Jimmy Gaffredo. That was on the power play, an assist from Tyler Hodson and CJ Regula. Then 2:38 also on the power play, as there was an immediate power play right after the Gaffredo goal. 2:38 of the second, it was Jake Gagnon on the power play, assist from Tyler Hodson and Max Smolinski. That's what made it 3-3. Then it stayed that way. Then at 17:06, it was Robbie Newton on assist from Ryan Sullivan and Levi Glassman. Sullivan is the brother of RPI's Nathan Sullivan, so getting on the board for his team. And 19:11 of the second, it was Max Smolinski on the power play from Dovar Tingling, who won the face-off on that play. So that's where we stand in the second
going into the third period. So we get some out-of-town scores here for you as soon as I pull them up. So it is in Canton, rather in Potsdam. The website just updated. It's Quinnipiac leading Clarkson by a score of 4-2. That's in Potsdam. In Canton, it is Princeton 3 and Princeton 3 and St. Lawrence 3 rather. And then in Schenectady, it is Cornell 4 and Union 1. And then, of course, no Harvard this weekend because they are playing in the Beanpot on Monday against the Boston College Eagles. That's the annual tournament that features Harvard, Northeastern, Boston University, and Boston College. So RPI usually draws the weekend they play Harvard and Dartmouth. RPI only usually plays one game that weekend as they accommodate Harvard to play in the Beanpot, but they didn't do that this year. So Harvard is playing in the Beanpot against Boston College. So Larry is coming back. We'll find out what he found out when he joins us. All right, Larry, what did you find out? What did you find out about Neil?
Well, Dan tried to get a hold of Neil, and he's not answering his phone.
Oh, okay.
So I think we're kind of stuck here. I
That's
know
okay.
there are several other alumni in the place that we definitely could have gotten up here.
Well, I would have asked Matt if he
Yeah,
walked
Matt
by,
would have been
but,
good. Saji's here. I see Neil Herberg's up in the president's box. There's several others. Curtis Leonard is here this weekend. There's a whole bunch of really good players that came back. Oren Neisman's back. Really nice to see that the alumni are coming back and paying homage to the program. It's just great to see.
And so I mean, Neil is still one of my favorites. No matter this little snafu, I'm going to forgive him for leaving. I mean, that's okay. He's a busy man. In and out. That's fine. He's still one of my favorites. So if Neil's listening out there, I forgive you.
Thank you.
No harm, no foul. I understand. But please know, Neil, if you're listening, that you're still one of the reasons why I became an RPI hockey fan. So
there you go.
So I forgive him, and no harm, no foul. But I would have been excited to do that, and I know we were pushing it to you guys. So we apologize for that too. But these things happen. So we're going to take a short break right now. We'll be back for the third period of play here from the Fieldhouse. The score after 2 periods of play is Colgate 4, RPI 4. You're listening to live coverage of Engineering Hockey on 91.5 FM, WRPI, Troy.
This is Campus Radio at RPI, WRPI, Troy, New York.
And we're back here at the Houston Fieldhouse. Larry Pulverand here with Ed Nadarian, and the referees just took the ice for the third period of this 4-4 barn burner here at the Houston Fieldhouse on 46 Big Red Freakout night. During the first two periods, lots of shots on goal. Watson with 20 saves, Skylander with 26 saves so far to date. And interestingly, Jake Gagnon and that line has been buzzing. And Gagnon with a goal tonight, his 8th of the season. We'll go through the scoring in a minute. But RPI definitely skating better tonight than they were last night. Still ahead in faceoffs, 18-15. Still getting the better part of the offensive zone in terms of penetration to the net. Colgate scoring most of their goals from the high slot, like actually beyond the hash marks, mostly on open plays that RPI loose defensive coverage is not preventing. So RPI has the work cut out. Certainly the next goal will be very important here for whichever team gets it. In the second period, the goal scoring 158, Jimmy Gaffredo scored from Hodson and Regula on the power play. RPI got another power play goal right after that at 2:38, since the Jimmy Gaffredo goal was on a delayed penalty. Jake Gagnon gets the goal from Hodson and Smolinski, so Hodson with a pair of assists there. Colgate gets back with Robbie Newton's second goal of the season from Sullivan and Glaceman at 17:06, and then RPI scores in the last minute for the Mr. Beast Burger minute of the game. 19:11 into the second period. Max Smolinski gets his first goal of the season with the assist from Dover Tinley. And that's where we are right now at 4-4 in this game. So we will face off at center ice. It'll be Beaton taking the draw against McGuire. We're going to drop the puck, and we're off. RPI wins the face-off, back to Zwolinski. Zwolinski dumps it around behind the net. Gylander misses it on trying to stop it. Sullivan down the left boards, misses the puck, and now Bergsland gets it out to center ice, and now Strom gives it away to LaBelle. LaBelle coming in hard. LaBelle just goes beyond the goal line, getting bodied off the play by the RPI defender just barely on that play. Bad play by Strom, giving that puck away in the middle of the ice. It was almost a 2-on-1, in fact. Now RPI with it, centering over to Lee. And LaBelle gets it out to center ice, but he can't control it. And now RPI will dump it back in behind the goal line, behind Gylander. Lee in pursuit. Doesn't get it. Bergsland with the puck. Bergsland plays it up to center ice. Now Lee with it. Lee grabs it. Heidemann did not cross back over the blue line, getting out of the zone. So it is an offside. Faceoff comes just outside the RPI offensive zone. So RPI now hitting the 30-shot mark. I haven't seen that very much this year, if at all. So that's good to see.
I'm back, Larry.
Thanks, Ed. RPI wins the faceoff, dumps it around. Left side, Lee can't control it, goes to Heidemann, takes a shot, sticked away by Gylander. Now thrown back in from the point. Zadi centers, nobody home but Chorsky, and Chorsky can't get it out of the zone quite yet. But Anderson does up to DePaulo, but he can't handle it, but he gets it right back. And then he gets a big stand-up check there by Regula. Now gets dumped down the left side. Anderson grabs it in his own zone, goes across, and now back to center for Colgate. Colgate will dump it around the back behind Watson. Down the right side comes to Paulo. He can't control it. Hodson dumps it across the middle dangerously there. But there's Tinley. Tinley grabs it. And offsides again on RPI, it seems. That seems to be the trend this period. 1 minute and 40 seconds in. 4-4 game here at the Houston Fieldhouse 46th Big Red Freakout. Face off just outside the RPI blue line. Tinling takes it, he loses it, goes back to Metz. Metz with the puck. Tries to hit Manderville, misses him, and now RPI comes back the other way. Now to Hodson in the corner. Hodson can't control it. Metz has it. He gets hit from behind, but gets the puck up to Manderville, who gets it out to center ice, and he hits the bench. So the faceoff will be inside the zone to the left of Guylander as Manderville throws it into his own bench rather than.
I want to thank you, Larry, for not ringing your cowbell up here.
Oh, no,
from
no.
1984.
You shouldn't have thanked me that early because it's coming.
Larry has a whole smorgasbord of freak out gifts up here that he was showing me.
Yeah, I went to my freak out box, and having been here as a student for the first freak out ever, the first year I was here, and come back to many, many, many freak outs, 30 something. I have quite a collection. So now the puck comes all the way down. It looks like it's going to go wide of Watson, and icing will be called as Taggart puts the arm up. I don't think we said who the refs were. Referees tonight are, if I can find them anywhere, there we go, C.J. Hannafin and William Brennan and Dan Taggart and John Gray.
Of course, C.J. Hannafin, many a freak out with him.
Yeah, ex-RPI player. Taggart and Ray are linesmen for tonight. Face off here, Tinling to the left of Guylander. He wins it. Gets it back to Hodson, who plays it on the circle to Regula down. Dumps it down low. Now Tinling tries to get it through the back of the net where Gagnon was, but it doesn't go through, and Colgate comes the other way. Now down the right side. Gunning in on the D. That was number 16. That's Ryan Sullivan, but he can't get a good shot off, and now RPI goes the other way. Going down hard was Gagnon. He gets up a little soft. He's doing okay, though. Now Sullivan over the middle, drops it left side. That shot goes wide, back to the point. Bergslin tries to keep it in, but he can't. Now it's up to the RPI blue line where RPI will touch it and go off for a change. RPI now on the beaten line out there now. Colgate with it, knocking it around in the zone. It comes all the way out, and in pursuit is Sullivan. Nathan Sullivan can't get it. Anderson does. Anderson plays it up to McGuire. McGuire up the middle. It's tipped into the zone by LaBelle into the corner. Agnew in pursuit of his Mitten is also trying to get it, but RPI comes out with it. But Mitten with a good back check steals the puck and plays it back to the D. Anderson in his own zone. Beaton going off for a change rather than try to stay there and forecheck. Now Anderson plays across ice over to Brandon, who dumps it in. So he grabs that puck behind Watson, and now Agnew has it. He gets bodied by LaBelle, so it goes back behind the net to Zwolinski, and now over to Mazzotti. Mazzotti throws it up the middle. Anderson can't handle it, and Lee grabs it and throws it back in behind the goal line, where Brandon will wrap it around the left side and out of the zone. Looks like both teams playing very conservative here, not wanting to make that mistake, which causes the goal. Now Lee grabs it at center ice away from the Colgate player, dumps it in. Guylander feels the puck, plays it up ice. And now we've got 3-on-3 going the other way. Colgate now dumps it around, shot wide, I think on purpose, and then Chorsky dumps it behind the goal line. He can't control it. Now Raymond with it, he loses it, and now RPI dumps it down the ice. Metz has it in his own zone. Over to Irwin. That gets up to Chorsky. He can't control it. RPI, nice little sidestep there, but can't quite get past the second guy. So now Colgate comes the other way. RPI stands him up at the blue line and takes the puck away. Now Goffredo has his own defensive blue line, plays it left side. Here comes McNeil. McNeil's going to take the shot, gloved by Guylander. RPI will probably change here.
Got a little extracurricular activity in front of the net.
Yep.
But it was quickly whistled to a stop.
A few of those.
Yeah, 14:55 left to play in the third period. 4-4 RPI and Colgate. Shots 31-28 in favor of RPI. So very good amount of shots.
Yeah, a lot of activity in front of the goalies for sure. So McNeil will stay on the ice, take this draw against Panetta. Panetta wins it finally. It wasn't a clean win, and now Bergson plays it out to a fast break type pass up to Jake Schneider, who is hanging at the RPI defensive blue line. That puck goes up and out, and the faceoff will be just outside the RPI zone, defensive zone. So he'll be beaten, taking that draw against Mineta.
As we mentioned, it was. I'll read through the out-of-town scores for you as we have some updates after the play stopped.
RPI with it in the corner. Sullivan now back to Agnew. Agnew wrists it. Oh, I'm sorry, it was Regula wristed it. It goes wide. RPI player gets spilled, and now Colgate comes the other way. Colgate to center. Manderville. Manderville working on Regula, two big men. Now it goes in the corner, and two RPI guys try to take him out, both defensemen. Regula lost his stick. He stays in front of the net, doesn't go to fetch it. Now he goes looking for the puck. He tries to kick it. He misses. RPI plays it up the boards, and now I'm not sure what we've got going on now. It's a hand pass? No, it's a holding call.
No, it's a penalty.
Brennan's.
I don't know if it's going to be. I think the initial call was against RPI, so I think RPI is getting a penalty for holding. I don't know if the Colgate player is going to go into the box too. Nope.
Nope. Looks like Alfredo getting a 2-minute call here, kind of behind the goal line for holding.
Yeah, 14:10 left to play in the third. 4-4 RPI and Colgate. So
yeah, it's got to play clean at this point in the game.
And if RPI ever needs a good kill, it's right now.
Yeah, penalty kill for RPI under 70%. Power play for Colgate at 24%. Not what you want to do. So McGuire will take this draw against Tinling. Tinling out there with Regula, Strom, and trying to see who the other player is out there. Looks like Gagnon. Little wrister from the point that gets off a leg and doesn't go anywhere, and now it gets cleared by Gagnon out to center ice, where Anderson will grab it, dumps it to the right side to DePaulo, who plays it into the RPI zone. Jacob Lee fighting for the puck there. He can't grab it and clear it. Nice glove there by Jacob Lee to get it on his stick, and now he's coming down the ice. Jacob Lee on the left side. He's going to get a wrist shot. Saved there by Guylander. Good one. Good rush there by Jacob Lee. And now Brackett's out there. It's killing the penalty. Well, Colgate goes down. RPI dumps it back in behind Guylander. So far, 1:20 left in this penalty to RPI. Anderson out there, power play kind of specialist. Dumps it back now to Mitten. Mitten with a pair of goals tonight. Dumps it over to McGuire now. Center to Anderson. Couple of sticks knock the puck away, and RPI should get this out off the glass and down. Ciccarello out there killing this penalty. Now Reed Irwin, the Denver transfer, takes it in his own zone. Plays it over to LaBelle. LaBelle gains center ice, coming right down the middle, trying to beat everybody. Swings it over, tries to hit Berglund, but he's on his way down. He didn't get the pass to click. Now Berglund left center and over to 14. That's Manderville standing right in between the hash marks. And he puts it past Watson on a deflected pass pretty much.
And again, but Manderville was wide open. There was nobody
again, no
against him.
coverage.
I mean,
coverage in front of the net.
There's only so many times we can say it. Manderville was standing wide open, and they let him get it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm watching the replay, and there's nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody covering him at all. RPI now, as their work cut out for them, plenty of time left with 12:44 left in the game, but they have their work cut out for them. You're always playing from behind. Eventually, the clock runs out on you. So now RPI coming down the ice, but gets knocked back into their defensive zone. Strom will go grab it behind the net. Leisman after him. Now Colgate with it. Circles behind the net. Tries to throw it out to the point. That doesn't go. That was Robbie Newton. Now over to the right side where Sullivan takes a wrister. I think that was a save by Watson. Smolinski trying to tie him up. Can't do it. Smolinski up to Mazzotti. And now RPI will get the puck out, but that's not good enough right now. So Berglund grabs it. And he throws it up to Robbie Newton. Robbie Newton at the left circle throws it toward the net. That gets blocked by Strom and goes into the other corner. Down the right boards comes the defenseman Nick Anderson. Takes it around to the circle, and again, right between a couple of defenders, right there was Glaceman, and he just fortunately didn't get the pass, and now RPI will just backhand it out to center ice and not get anything going here. Now Zwolinski drops it back to Strom. Strom will grab it and try to get it out of the zone. He throws it off the skates of Gagnon, dumps it up to the blue line, and RPI will dump it deep. Tinling will go try to pursue this puck, but it's played around the other way to Anderson. Plays it up the boards to Chorsky, who throws it in the middle, and now Colgate gains center down the left side. That's Pearson, Brandon, and now RPI, possible 2-on-1. Down the right side, pass doesn't click to Goffredo. And now it's still in the corner, though, in the RPI offensive zone. Gagnon with it. Gagnon with a couple of Colgate guys on him. Now gets support there from Tinling. Tinling now in the corner. Tinling trying to get it away from the Colgate player, but Chorsky grabs it, and now it's thrown up the ice. It's a race here between Goffredo and that was 18, Ben Raymond. And I thought Goffredo was pretty fast, but Raymond beat him on that play. He just couldn't get the shot out. Now Raymond with it again, chips it right into the middle, goes through a bunch of people as the puck bounces on the left circle. That's a blocked shot right there by RPI and played around by Reed Irwin behind the net. Colgate putting on some offensive pressure here, killing time off the clock and creating some possible opportunities. Now up the boards to Bouchette. Bouchette chips it past Bergslund. Bouchette, left circle, takes a wrister, dribbles in on Guylander, and he can cover it just before he can get there for a possible rebound chance. Good opportunity there from Bouchette, generated by RPI.
So out in Potsdam, Quinnipiac leads Clarkson 4-2. Here it's 5-4. Then Princeton and St. Lawrence tied at 4 in Canton, and then over in Schenectady, Cornell leads Union 4-1. Here at the Fieldhouse, it's 10:03 left to play in the third. 5-4. Colgate leads RPI. If the playoffs were to start now, RPI would go to New Haven.
Yeah, and the standings are kind of funky because the number of games for each team is a little different, so it's really hard to tell at this point. Heidemann with a good wrist shot, slap shot from the point. Pad save there by Guylander. Couldn't get the rebound. Standing there was Jacob Lee. Just didn't go to him. And now Muzzati in the corner. Muzzati there with Panetta. Muzzati trying to pin the puck along the boards. Some nasty stuff going on in that corner there among the other two guys that are there, with Trafoglia and Lee. Now Lee has it in the right corner, throws it up the boards. Manderville pokes it free, and up the ice comes Colgate. Colgate takes a wrister save there by Watson. That's another shot by Panetta. He's leading the game in shots right now. Now RPI looking to break. Muzzati looking to wrap it into the middle. He can't quite get it there as the RPI player was breaking. Muzzati gets dumped behind the play there. And now the Colgate guy gets floored right in front of his own bench. Game getting a little more physical now. Now Surdy within his own end. Plays across ice. Now over to McNeil at the blue line. He misses it, but goes in the corner with it with Anderson. Colgate pokes it up the boards, and they'll get it out here. As Sullivan will take it right in front of his own bench. Plays it back to Anderson. Anderson thinking, looking. And that pass is stopped, but now it's a 2-on-1. And shot goes wide by Glaceman, high over the net. Now RPI is coming back with numbers. 3-on-2. RPI, 3-on-2, left circle. Shot, save, rebound right in front. It's loose, and it gets taken out of there by Glaceman. And Glaceman will just throw it down the ice to get them out of trouble. Going back for it is beaten. RPI certainly getting pucks to the net at this point. Now it's a matter of finding them and putting them in. Now Nate Sullivan dumps it into Beaton. Beaton wristed right on net. No rebound shot, although there was a rebound. And Bouchette just can't control it. Now it comes back the other way. RPI getting back, fortunately, with numbers here. And now go on the offense. It's kind of a little run and gun north-south game right now. You know, Sullivan risks it in on Guylander. He decides not to tie it up, and Bouchette had it and then lost it. Now Colgate tries to skate out with it. That was McGuire, but he couldn't get past the player, and now it's on the left side. Now it's back in the middle. Centering pass, and it looks like it might be offsides here. No, high stick.
Yep. 7:30 left to play in the third. 5-4. Colgate on top of RPI. They're going to take
So I mentioned that I brought my toys.
Oh, here we go.
So, this is the,
that was what we were going to show Neil.
I can't remember when they did the noisemaker band called the RPI rule, where they didn't allow RPI or any team to have artificial noisemakers. The horns were the kiss of death for that. They gave out these almost like maracas with a pom-pom attached to it for the 17th annual Freak Out against Vermont in '94, and so you could shake it and make a noise. So it must have been after this, but I thought it was before, but obviously
it
not.
was against Brown. I think it was 94, 95 maybe.
So here's a.
If that was I think it was maybe the 95.
So this one is like almost like a whoopee cushion, but without the whoopee part. It's like almost like a little circle padded thing. Versus Brown in '93. This was the 16th.
That was it.
Freak Out. But you can bang it against something else, or bang two of them together and make a little bit of noise. I have here the horn, but I won't use the horn because that's nasty.
Please don't ring the cowbell either.
Oh, the cowbell has to get rung. Okay, I have two cowbells. One's from the
Let me ask
7th
you a question.
Hold on, it's from the 7th and the 3rd annual Freak Out, and the horns were also used in the first few Freakouts twice. So they did a lot of reuse back then as opposed to having new innovations all the time.
7:27 left to play in the third. 5-4 Colgate over RPI. I will ask you my question after play stops.
So Colgate wins the draw, dumps it around the back of Watson. Gagno goes in there, can't get it out. Now back to Brandon over the right point to Anderson, back to Brandon. At the left point, stick save there. I believe that shot even got through by Watson. And now it's RPI coming the other way. Hodson down the left boards. Hodson trying to get past Anderson. Can't. And McGuire plays it back to center ice. And LaBelle gets hit hard by Gagno before and after he gets rid of the puck. And RPI comes back the other way. I'm not sure if Hodson touched that, but apparently he didn't.
He did not.
The linesman called it icing.
All right, so my question.
Sure.
There used to be people that sat in section 6 and 7 in the olden days when this place was much fuller for every game, not freak out. Every time RPI had a breakout attempt or 2-on-1, someone used to ring the cowbell. It used to annoy the heck out of me. Was it you?
Yeah. No.
That's all. That's all I wanted to know.
No, that was not me. I did not bring my cowbell anywhere except for freakouts. I will tell you in the next break what I did bring to games back in the day. People that sat in front of me didn't like it very much.
Did it involve a paper bag and a flask?
No, it involved a Coast Guard rated piece of equipment. So now Colgate comes down the other way. Regula grabs it behind the net. Two Colgate guys there. Gets knocked away from them, and now Heidemann, I believe, is playing that all the way up, looking for a home run pass to Mazzai. Mazzai takes his man against the boards. You know, you can kind of see the timidness in that hit because he's got so many game misconducts from trying to throw a real check.
Yeah, we're going to get offsides here against RPI. It was a delayed offsides, and it didn't touch up. So,
Gotcha.
6:18 left to play. I'm curious now.
Okay, so I used to have, when I was my last year of college, probably I started, I used to have a 1 mile rated Coast Guard air horn. And people that sat in front of me, anywhere near me actually, didn't like it very much, but it was loud. It was really loud. It would rock the place. That now is actually banned, so I don't have it anymore. I actually have the top. I don't have a can on it. So now it's behind Guylander in there for the forecheck was Heidemann fighting for it. A couple of Colgate guys. Foglio's back there and comes loose and goes to Bergslin. Bergslin plays it up. And now they gain center over the blue line. That's DePaulo looking at a quick break there.
WRPI Troy.
Regula. No, not Regula. I can't tell who that is. No, that was Regula. Now RPI trying to get out of the zone with 5 minutes left in this game. A centering pass and a nice shot there by Chorsky. I think that went off of Watson or it was wide, but again, a man left in the middle. This was a little further out, unguarded. RPI changes up now as the puck is behind Guylander. RPI running out of time here. Puck down low. Now Brackett with it. Brackett trying to play it back to Bouchette. Nice hold there by Anderson that I can see very nicely where I'm sitting. No call. Now back to Smolinski, and he shoots. And that goes wide. Still in the RPI offensive zone. Brackett now in the corner. Goes in there against Anderson. Now centering, trying for Bouchette. Skated out by Brandon. Brandon gains center ice and dumps it. Smolinski grabs it, brings it off the boards. But no RPI player there. Robbie Newton there for Colgate. Robbie Newton at center. Plays it over to his wing. That's the rushing defenseman, Irwin. He gets a shot off. It's Watson. Colgate with the rebound. Now circling around. That was Glaceman. Getting more ice time in the second half of the game. I don't remember him in the first half of the game. Now Metz with a little wrister from the point. It's right into the pads of Watson. And he holds that puck, which is probably fine with Colgate with 4:15 left in this game. RPI with 37 shots on goal. Colgate 31 shots. You are listening to Engineers Hockey on 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. So Tinling will take this draw against McGuire. I assume we'll see a lot of that line probably for the rest of this game. McGuire, Mitten, and Bell. And false start there, so we'll have to do it again. And I think RPI will shorten their bench, probably starting now. Back-to-back weekend for both teams, and Goffredo plays it up to the blue line where the RPI player takes a spill. And now Hodson will go in and forecheck on Guylander, who plays the puck the other way around to the defense, but turn it over to Gagno. Gagno trying to get around his man, can't. But the Colgate player then whiffs on the pass out. That was Foglia. Now Foglia grabs it, settles things down behind the net. Now he comes out with it as Colgate changes. Foglia gains his blue line. Now he dumps it back to Bergslin. Looks like RPI needs to turn up this forecheck, otherwise they're just going to sit on this puck and kill the clock. So Mazzotti's got to get in there and go after him. I know you don't like to chase people behind the net, but really have to do that, otherwise he's going to go behind the net. It really could be a delay of game at this point. I don't know what the exact time frame is where that becomes a problem. Now Colgate back up over the blue line. And now back the other way comes RPI as the puck gets turned over. Now RPI with a wrister. And that gets a shoulder save, I believe, on Heidemann. On Guylander. Now RPI. Got to be looking at Watson now. Now RPI has it. Goffredo, RPI, right near the Colgate bench. Almost too many men on the ice, which we had two of last night against with Cornell. They had too many men on the ice twice. And they tried to get that out. It's kept in nicely out of the air. There's Jake Lee with a backhander, and that gets knocked aside. Now Mazzotti right in front, and Guylander jumps on the puck, and somebody hit his hand, and I think his hand is hurt. As there's some little pushing and shoving in front, and Lee making fun of the Colgate player, I guess. The height of the Colgate player.
Yeah, Lee put his hand up and went to high five and put his hand up. And
yeah, that puck kind of started behind the net, squirted to the side of the net, and then somehow wound up in the front of the net.
Yeah,
just kept getting pushed and pushed.
And I don't think Elander ever had it. I think the whistle blew early. 2:32 left to play in the third. 5-4 RPI and Colgate. Empty net. Watson out of the net.
RPI takes the draw now. Wins it. Back to Smolinski at the point. Over the left circle. Hodson having a hard time handling that, but he goes in the corner. Now Beaton now tries to handle it to the left circle, and Hodson misses it and falls down, and this could be bad. No, it's a block by RPI. Now they're coming in 2-on-1. And it's a goal! Beautiful move
And this play started, actually, we harp on the defense all game, bad defense. That was actually a great defensive
It was a
play.
great defensive play.
Right, they had an open net, and Watson was out. RPI player sort of kicked it away, so nothing would happen. I started 2-on-1, and we now have a tie game. 2:10 left to play in the third. 5-5. RPI and
I think
Colgate.
Colgate was very nonchalant on that open net.
Absolutely.
They had three guys up. They could have thrown it
Look
over.
at our kids. That's a great sight to see.
Yeah, they could
Two
have.
flag guys and
Well,
40
bunch of little kids.
Yeah, that's a great sight.
Yeah, they could have easily have thrown that over, and it would have been much easier to shoot the open net. So now we have a 5-5 game with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Can RPI take some momentum out of that? And it gets thrown in the corner behind Watson. Zielinski back on it. Around to the left boards. DePaulo keeps it in, throws it around behind Watson. Crowd comes alive here. Now it's in the circle to DePaulo. It's right in the middle. The favorite place for Colgate to be scoring goals. Now left circle goes across east-west, but doesn't click with Mitten, and now RPI grabs it and comes back on the offense. RPI, now Brackett in the circle, gets bodied there a little bit by Brandon, and now Colgate will come the other way.
Tyler Hodson gets credit for the ball.
Hodson, yep. It was a clipper little move by Hodson. What a fancy move, right? And now it's stumped in by Mazzotti. Guylander plays the puck around. Kind of slow. Mazzotti hammers Sky into the boards. That had hurt. And now they play it all the way down. Not going to make it for icing. Irwin, the defenseman from Colgate, somehow must have been on a change. Comes down. Gaffredo watching him. Gaffredo watching him behind the net. Still behind the goal line. Regula goes in. Takes his man into the boards. And now Heidemann. Heidemann plays it over to Lee. Lee comes up the ice. Lee whiffs on the dump, but he gets it eventually, but it's offside. As Stinling was in thinking Lee was going to hit the puck, but he didn't. And now Bergslund with it in his own zone. 48 seconds left in the game. A little hip check there by Jacob Lee to slow down Colgate. And now Surdy will grab it in the defensive zone up to Gagnon at the RPI blue line. Now Gagnon over, and now RPI will dump it in, and Brandon will go behind the net. RPI trying to forecheck. It's at the point. Agnew with it. Agnew wrists it toward the net. It was a good save there by Guylander. Not sure if that got deflected or not. Now RPI's defense caught deep. Now Agnew's going to have to scramble for it on LaBelle. LaBelle throws it out front. A little shot. Bad save by Watson. Beautiful save. Now back to the point. Anderson, a little toe drag and shot, and it is standing in front of Watson. Nobody's getting the shot, and oh, wow, good shot there by Brandon, goes wide.
That's the type of defense RPI needed to play all game.
And the defense in front of the net, and Watson's pad keeps the game tied.
That's the type of game. That's the type of defense RPI needed to play the entire game.
Yeah, much more aggressive toward the man.
Yeah, aggressive, and playing the man. Legally playing the man, and we saw what happened. Watson keeping it out. So we're going to take a 2-minute intermission, but we're not. They are on the ice to clear off the ice shades.
I just did that to annoy Ed here.
Larry's ringing his cowbell.
Oh, wait a minute, I got more.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I've got
Larry, we can't
a noise maker that
Larry, no
whip
bias
around.
up here, Larry.
What was that?
No bias up here. We can't.
No. Well, this is actually a freak out from
Boston College.
The fourth annual
Wow,
freak
back
out.
when Boston
And it was this
College,
kind of thing where you're just whipping around and it makes that kind of noise.
Back when Boston College was in the E ECAC.
And then in 1985, we all know that
I
year,
remember this. I have
these
that.
were little megaphones in the 9th annual freak out. This was 86, sorry.
Well, what happened?
85 national
What
champions.
happened that year so all those megaphones could be used?
I don't know.
There was a big something.
So this is the original horn from 83. But I think the horns came back against UNH or something in 87. And that's the one where the RPI medical doctor brought a meter with him, Dr. Paul. And I love Dr. Paul, by the way. But he brought this meter in and found that it was louder than the Van Halen concert. For those who don't know Van Halen, they were big at that time, loud metal.
My question was, these got used 1985. Something happened that year.
Oh, yeah. Actually, this is 86.
Oh,
It just
86.
It says 85 changed.
Oh, okay.
But these are little short megaphones that you could yell through.
So
So lots of fun stuff.
Anyway, we're going to get free hockey up here. 3-on-3 for the overtime. Teams switch sides. So Watson is now in goal to our left.
Yep.
And Gielander is in goal to our right.
I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Hodson and a lot of Tinling, a lot of Gaffredo.
Hodson, Tiglin, Muzzati, Gaffredo, and Smolinski would be my guess we're going to see a lot of. Maybe bracket for the
Jacob Lee.
Jacob Lee.
Jacob Lee, so RPI played an overtime game here. I can't remember how long ago. It was probably last month. And a beautiful play in overtime. Smolinski over to Lee, and he jammed the overtime goal home. That set the place crazy. And that place wasn't crowded, so I can imagine what it'll be tonight if RPI can pull this game out.
And Kurt Russell from Miracle playing the late Herb Brooks just got the crowd fired up on the thing. So puck is dropped. You're listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy as we're going into overtime here at the Fieldhouse.
Yeah, RPI's done this before where they put out two defensemen and one forward. Here they're going with two forwards and one defenseman, which is more classic. I think they're going for the win here. Tinling with a good shot and a rebound, and it hit the crossbar. And another one, and a sprawling save by Guylander and a shot by Lee. RPI hit the crossbar on the rebound off the wrist shot, wide wrist shot, and now coming back the other way. That was Panetta coming in, breaking through the D, and a save by Watson.
Smolinski, though, with really good D on that play.
Yeah, so now Smolinski comes away with it. Now I think RPI wants a little bit of a change here. We've got Surdy out there. Surdy and Mazzotti, and now Surdy will come off. Smolinski will stay. And Gaffredo will come out, so he's back to 2D and one forward. Although Gaffredo, you can make a case.
And Smolinski, too.
Yeah, but you can make a case that Gaffredo could be a forward or D. And now a little wrister by Gaffredo, that goes wide. Be real careful of wide shots in overtime in case the rebound goes all the way down. You get an odd man break or just a break. And now Gaffredo wristed it again wide, and that's picked up there by Mitten. Mitten coming down the right side on Regula. Regula plays him pretty well. Now Mitten back to center ice where DePaulo is. Takes it back toward his own blue line. Now DePaulo back over to Chorsky, the big body out there against Muzzati. It's like Land of the Giants here. Muzzati went off, and now Gaffredo's on with Regula and Hodson. And Colgate in tight. Chorsky with the wrister, saved by Watson.
Watson come up huge twice.
Watson came up huge twice as the RPI player literally fell down. The only defender there. And now Gaffredo grabs it. Now Regula gets it. Regula up to Hodson. Hodson comes in. He's going to get a shot. And it goes off the pads of Guylander. He stacks it. He couldn't get it high enough. And now back coming the other way.
Guylander did a good job cutting off the angle.
Is Colgate. They take it back, go for the change. Bergslin has it. Bergslin's out there with Panetta. The crowd comes alive. Bergslin, Panetta, and LaBelle out there for Colgate. On for RPI is Strom, Lee, and Surdy's still going with 2D on the overtime here. Now Bergslin with it, being hassled there by Surdy. Surdy makes Bergslin turn a couple times. Bergslin now at the circle, dumps it back to Panetta. Panetta now at the high point. Panetta now left circle. Throws it toward the net, almost off a skate. And now Strom has it. Strom plays it around to Surdy. And now RPI will be able to generate some offense here. Now, over to Lee. He misses it. It's icing. As Lee didn't know it was coming. And RPI will have to take a draw here inside their own zone.
Well, yeah, this is great. I mean, the crowd's into it. The student section is standing up for the first time in forever, as I can remember.
This is like the old days, man.
Yeah.
And it's really good to see.
1:55 left to play in overtime. RPI and Colgate tied at 5 here in the 46 Big Red Freakout. Guylander and Watson both coming up huge in overtime.
Timeout
RPI. Which is interesting because, remember, RPI reviewed the goal that came up. Remember the goal to make it 3-1? RPI called for a review. So they lost their timeout. Now going into overtime, they get it back.
Well, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
So each team gets one timeout in overtime. So Colgate just gets one. They don't get two because they didn't use it.
Yeah, right.
So they lost theirs in regulation. So this enabled RPI to take their time out and to talk about that.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they send out the same three guys. McNeil was going to take the next draw here. He's been taking draws tonight and doing pretty well. But, I think with this rest, he might go out there with a Tinling or a Hodson instead.
Yeah.
So we'll see what Colgate does also in putting offensive pressure out there. Yeah, this is not surprise. McGuire and Mitten will go out there with Irwin to take the straw inside the RPI defensive zone to the left of Watson. And RPI does exactly what I just said. They put out Tinling to take the draw with Zwolinski and Surdy. Tinling being an excellent face-off man, even normally, but tonight especially. So Tinling will take the straw against McGuire. And it is won by RPI. So Zwolinski has it. Zwolinski with it. Takes it behind his own net. Forecheck there by McGuire. And now RPI skates out. Now Zwolinski trying to skate through center. Does. Now Zwolinski comes down the right side. Zwolinski throws it on net. Guy landed with an easy save. RPI corrals that puck, but plays it out to center. Just not worth trying to dive and keep it in the zone. Then man rush the other way. Now Surdy with it. RPI changes. Brackett comes on. The speedy Brackett now. Brackett waiting for Regula to come on. Regula changes and comes on with Mazzotti. So now we're back to two forwards and the defenseman. Now Regula with it at the point. Regula looking for a lane. Throws it toward the net. Mazzotti with his long reach reaches it and throws it wide. Now Mazzotti in the corner. Mazzotti controlling the puck on Anderson. Mazzotti out to the circle to Regula. Wrister. Gylander looks behind him. I don't think he knew he saved it, but he did. And then went up into the net. So it'll be a face-off to the left of Gylander. I'm sorry. Yeah, to the left of Gylander. To the right from where we're facing. And it will be Hodson taking the draw out here. No, Lee's going to take the draw with Hodson and Strom as the other players. Torski comes out with looks like Glaceman. No, DePaulo and Irwin. Little knockdown at center ice there. Now Hodson gets it over, and now they're looking for Lee. Now Lee regains it. Lee fakes, takes the shot, rebound, poked, and Glassman gets the glove over it before Hodson can get it poked again and try to get it past him.
I'll tell you though, I do feel like this is very exciting, don't get me wrong, but I feel like RPI in the 3-on-3, it's a home overtime. I feel like they're wasting a little bit of time trying to show off their skills.
Well,
I mean, they're getting shots, don't get me wrong. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I think they're looking for the perfect shot instead of just firing it on net.
I agree. So Tinling out there again to take this draw against McGuire, and he wins it. Nope, he loses it, and now Colgate comes the other way. Wasn't there for a second, but overskated it. And now it's center ice. Mazzotti trying to steal it away from LaBelle. LaBelle, he's had a really good night. Now Mazzotti on the boards, trying to wrestle the puck away, and RPI will get the puck. But now it's taken away again by Panetta, thrown toward the net, but it doesn't get there. And now Tinling leaves it for Mazzotti. And we run out of time in the overtime. Didn't realize it was that close. And RPI with 48 shots in the game, 34 for Colgate. And we are going to go to a shootout in the freakout. RPI in the shootout a couple weeks ago against Yale. Lost the shootout in the fourth round, I believe.
The Zamboni is going to come out and resurface the ice before the shootout.
Yeah, just the center stripe.
Yeah.
They'll just do the center, and then it'll be interesting to see who shoots first. There's different strategies in that. Some home teams prefer.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Mazzotti, Lee, Gaffredo, Brackett, and Hodson are my guess, my 5.
Yeah, I would move Hodson up in that lineup.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't matter what the order is. It's my 5.
Yeah. Interestingly, though, home team, I believe, gets the choice of whether they shoot first or second. And that's always interesting. Different teams put the pressure in different places, right? So if you want the do or die pressure, you go last. But if you want to put the other team on the fence,
and I actually forgot they go to a shootout. I just thought, like, that's it.
Yeah, and unlike the NHL, I believe, well, is this a 5 or a 3? Must be 3 because they called it after 4 at the Yale game. I thought they used to do 5 though.
Yeah, I think they usually do 5 too. But obviously, if you're
if they called it after 4 rounds, then it must be a 3 because nobody scored in the first.
Well,
three rounds.
unless you don't need the 5. I mean, I wasn't at the Yale game, so maybe Yale had a lot of goals in the 5.
No, they had no goal. No, neither
okay.
team had a goal, and then Yale scored, and that was the end.
Oh,
so and they decided to shoot second as the home team. So we'll see. Hodson hasn't gotten off the ice, so I have a feeling he's going to be one of the early shooters here. And I would also throw Heidemann in.
Although let's not and Tingling, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of good choices here.
But let's not forget too, RPI hit a crossbar in overtime. I mean, that actually could have been reviewed. It might have been in. I don't know, but
apparently nobody thought it was.
Yeah, apparently nobody thought about it, and nobody thought it was. So the Zamboni is off the ice. The ice is resurfaced. You are listening to 91.5 FM WRPI Troy. Ed DeGary along with Larry Pulverin at the 46th Big Red Freakout. Can't say annual because
no, it's not always. There were actually a couple of years there were 2.
Right.
This is just probably one of the highest scoring games.
So 4,290 people is the announced attendance tonight.
That's pretty much a full house.
Yes.
So RPI will shoot first here.
I think this holds what, 50 something?
It used to hold 5. I think it holds only about 47.
Oh, okay. And of course, nobody wants to sit over in the corner.
No, there are some people though doing it. But yeah, right. But those tickets don't sell typically.
But when I was a kid coming to the game, when we had tickets in the corner, at least you're in the game though. You're in the field house. And the mayor talked about the atmosphere of the freakouts, and it's been really struggling, but here it's been fantastic.
Here we go. Hodson taking the first shot for RPI. He goes wide left, cuts back into the middle between the hash marks. Dipsies and goes to his backhand.
You got the old dipsy doodle.
Does a Mika Zibanejad move on the backhand and roofs it into the upper part of the net. Nice little drag there by Hodson. Took it down the left side, then cut to the middle, then went to the backhand. Now going is Tom Chorsky from Medina, Minnesota, which I lived in. Ed loves when I say that. Chorsky now in on Watson, stops, and Watson with the glove save. Once you stop like that, it's trouble.
Yeah, you're done. I don't know what Chorsky was doing.
I don't know what he's doing. He's got such reach. I don't know why he's skating in tight.
So now, if it is 3, if RPI scores, they win. They win the shootout. If it's 3. Right?
No, it's one more round.
Oh,
so
okay.
They have to shoot one more. So now coming in is Gagnon with a glove save by Guylander. He drops it in his feet, but nevertheless, the puck did not go in the net, so it is 1-0 RPI after 2 opportunities by RPI. And coming off the bench for getting a wilding reception is Jake Schneider, the freshman, and he scores. Jake Schneider with a really nice shot from Plymouth, Minnesota.
You live there too, I'm sure.
Near there. Pretty close. So now RPI needs to get this goal here and put Colgate on the spot. Jake Lee comes in. He shoots. Saved by Guylander. And this gives Colgate an opportunity here. RPI bonding on the bench. Here we go. LaBelle's coming in. LaBelle, number 7 for Colgate, comes in the middle and shoots, and he scores. So Colgate gets the shootout victory against RPI, but RPI gets, what do they get? 1 point, 2 points, 2 points.
Yeah, I can't figure out. I think they get a point for overtime. I think Colgate gets 2, I believe. Colgate gets 2, RPI gets 1, I believe. But anyway.
It was a good game, though.
It was a very exciting game.
I would have loved to see it just be like sudden death shootout, right? It probably wouldn't have lasted that long that they couldn't have done that, right? But
Right.
Rules are rules, right? So you can't really do that, but it would have been much more interesting to see. So a 5-5 game going into overtime goes to the shootout, and Colgate puts it away at the last shot of the shootout. I'm going to go through real quickly out of town scores because we've only done that once tonight. A lot of finals in. Cornell whoops Union 6-1 in Schenectady. Bad news for RPI. Princeton beats St. Lawrence 5-4 in overtime. Quinnipiac defeats Clarkson 4-2, and Colgate beats RPI 6-5 in the shootout. And that's all the ECAC scores for the evening tonight. RPI acknowledging the fans, and a well played. I would say a well played game, an entertaining game, right?
Yeah.
Entertaining game. Both teams skated hard. Both teams looked like they wanted to win. Both teams looked like they were hungry, and that always makes it entertaining. You know, the sit back defensive game, while it's a strategy to win, especially when it comes playoff time, it's not entertaining to the fans as much. So this was a very entertaining game.
Yeah, no, it was. And let's be honest, it was a lot of defensive breakdown for RPI. They played very well offensively.
Yep. And I'm starting to think, I don't know if I have the time, but I would love to just go back, take all the RPI games and break down power play and defensive giveaways and just see how many games the outcome would have been different, right?
Yeah.
There's probably a bunch that were and a bunch that weren't, and you can't really do that, all the time, because there will be in any game a defensive lapse or a breakaway or a giveaway or whatever. But it's amazing how much of their own they create their own trouble out there, and it's not a bad weekend, even though it's not a lot of points.
Yeah, and they played well. I mean, they have to find a way to win. RPI doesn't find a way to win.
No, correct.
And that's what they have to do. And it's been like that all season. They find ways to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find a way to win, and that's really what separates. I don't want to say RPI is a bad team. They have a bad record. They're not bad,
right?
But that's what separates a losing team, with a winning team. Is winning teams find ways to win. RPI is not at that point.
No,
as they find ways to lose, and they find ways to lose in bad ways.
Mm-hmm.
We could say that, but today I think was a good step. I mean, the defense really let them down with the defensive breakdown. Offensively, I think they played very well, keeping up the pressure and skating with Colgate. Power plays, they scored 3. I think they were 3 for 3, 3 for 3 tonight on that power play. Yeah, 3 for 3, and keeping Colgate 1 for 2. So you win the power play battle.
Yeah, the outshot,
yeah.
which I haven't seen them do.
Yeah, you win. They won more face-off. They outshot. Yeah. They won the power play battle. 3 things that will normally win you the game. RPI only got a tie, and they lose in the shootout because they find ways to lose.
Mm-hmm.
1 goal, 1 defensive goal, 1 defensive lapse here or there. Defensive lapses will happen. It's leaving the guy wide open, and leaving you go ahead and hang out to dry. That's the issue. Defensive lapses will happen, especially they're in college kids. They have a lot of stuff going on in their mind. I don't want to make an excuse, but you can't leave a man wide open. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Is that I could have scored tonight, and I can't skate. I mean, that's the way it is.
Yeah, there were a couple of good goals, but in general, the RPI defense coverage, and I won't even just say the RPI defense because the third man in is not the defense, right? It's the center. But the defensive structure of the team is not there. It's just not there. And that's what they and every week there's something that looks a little better and something that looks a little worse, right?
Yeah.
And
dare I say, there's too many offensive-minded defensemen on this team. I mean, you got Smolinski that pinches down. You got Goffredo that pinches down. You got Regula who was pinching down out there in the 3-on-3. You have, I mean, Strom is maybe the most stay-at-home defenseman RPI has.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And what happens when they pinch down low is RPI is not a good counter forechecking team. So when they get forechecked to death and you pinch down low, you have no defenders back there, and that's what happens.
Right. And the classic positioning is the wing covers if the D goes in deep, and I don't see that happening either. So, they'll work on that structure. Again, one-game playoff. It's a month away. Work on everything now. Get it out of your system. Colgate won the ECAC last year, right? Did anybody expect them to beat Quinnipiac? No.
Yeah.
So, it can happen, right? And you just have to be playing well at the right time and the right day. Have a hot goalie, have a hot scorer or whatever it is, and you can, you can do amazing things in the world of college hockey. So,
you gonna run down the scoring, or are you gonna run down the scoring?
I was hoping to do it.
All right, I'll run down the scoring.
You got it open.
I'll run down the scoring. That's fine. So we started out. Let me get my computer here. In the first period, Colgate got on the board first with a goal by Ross Mitten and assist by Simon LaBelle and Bobby Metz. Made it 1-0 at 6:55 of the first. It was Sutter Muzati assisted by Jacob Lee and Max Smolinski. Made it 1-1. Then Colgate at 9:10 of the first made it 2-1 on a goal by Daniel Panetta from Simon LaBelle and Ryan McGuire. And at 18:53, Colgate got on the board again with Ross Mitten and assist by Simon LaBelle and Ryan McGuire. That's really a line killer for Colgate.
Yep.
For RPI. Killer line, I should say, for Colgate. And then in the second period, it was RPI getting on the board 158 of the period on a power play by Jimmy Goffredo, an assist from Tyler Hodgson and C.J. Regula. Then 2:38 of the second, it was Jake Gagnon on the power play from Tyler Hodgson and Max Smolinski. And then it was Bobby Newton for Colgate, 17:06, the Ryan Sullivan and Levi Glasman. And then the hamburger goal, 19:11 of the second, assist from Max Smolinski, goal by Max Smolinski, assist from Dovhard Tingling, and that made it 4-4. And then in the third period, it was Ethan Manderville on a power play from Simon LaBelle and Tommy Bergslin. And then tying it up at 17:50 of the third, it was Tyler Hodgson, extra attack game tying goal from Jimmy Goffredo, made it 5-5. And then that's where we stood. And then Colgate wins in the shootout. So 48 shots for RPI, 34 shots for Colgate. So if doing quick math, it is 29 saves for Watson to 43 saves for Gielander.
Yeah, played a great game. So one of the reasons I made you do that is because I'm going to ask you next to fix the offensive and defensive engineers
I knew that
the game. And if you do that, then normally it pops in your head, hey, that guy.
Well, I think offensively, I will give it to, let me see, Sutter Muzati. I think he played a really good game. I mean, just positioning wise, and he really came in his own today. CJ Jacob Lee. I mean, everybody deserves it. It's hard to pick one in a really good offensive game. It's hard to pick just one player. But I think Sutter Muzati, for me, stood out with positioning, using his body. He's really coming into his own this season. I think he had the game today that I was expecting to have all season. I don't think he's been as good as he was last season, but today I think he was good.
Okay, defensive player?
Jimmy Goffredo. He got the goal, and he just really gave a spark to the offense for RPI.
Yeah, when he's out there, he's always a threat to rush, right?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
So that will do it. So we'd like to say a few thank yous before we get off the air. Do you have anything else to say? All right. So we'd like to say a few thank yous before we get off the air. We'd like to thank the people at the station to get us on the air and making sure we stayed on there, and Will Hawkins to call the station and organize everything with them.
Yeah,
as
Michael
well.
at the station. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
so we'd like to thank them as well, and we'd also like to thank Carmela Mantello, Mayor of Troy, for sitting down with me and giving an interview. I know it wasn't live, it was yesterday, but I still want to thank her for her time. She's a very busy lady, didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate that. So thank you to Mayor Mantello, the mayor of the city of Troy. We'd also like to thank everybody listening on the World Wide Web. Just put your browser to www.wrpi.org, and you can hear our broadcast 24 hours a day, so long as we are broadcasting. We are broadcast on our internet feed. Once again, it is www.wrpi.org. We'd also like to remind you that our WRPI is seeking current RPI students to make live calls of games, such as this one you just heard between RPI and Colgate. There are opportunities this season to get on the air for RPI. Not so much hockey, but baseball later on in the year. And if you're interested in any other sport that RPI has, baseball, football, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, just let us know and we'll do our best to get you on the air. There's a lot of logistics that work, so we have to know what to do. So if you're interested, just shoot us an email, wrpi-sports@rpi.edu. So that will do a hit today for Larry Pulver. I'm Ed DeGarry. The final score here from the field house is RPI 5, Colgate 5. Colgate winning in the shootout. The official score 5-5, but it goes in the books as a Colgate win.
Good news is RPI is getting the shootouts. Right?
So yeah, RPI is getting the shootout.
That's a good point. Good progress.
Yes.
Right?
So you've been listening to live coverage of Engineer Men's Hockey at 91.5 FM, WRPI, Troy.